Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I hope we are all well and I hope that this is all loaded through nicely, and it looks like it has. And we are here. I'm a little bit early. I thought, why not? We'll log on a little bit early. This is a this is a late one. We're a 12:30 kickoff. This is a late one, but we've got loads of stuff to talk about. Loads of stuff as well, not even to do with Sunderland. We can chat about everything that's happening in with Eddie Howe and all that sort of good stuff. But yeah, John, match starts at 1:30. It's going to be a long night. It absolutely is going to be a long night, mate. Susan says, John, wake up. Hopefully he is awake. Hopefully we see him in the chat. Billy is looking forward to this one. Keep the faith away, the lads. I'm looking forward to it as well. Serial Killer but Cornflakes, great name. Was hoping Leeds wouldn't rock the back five, so probably didn't have 3 centre-backs on him. Yeah, I put the teams up, and they should be in the correct formation. I guess Leeds rough formation. 60 minutes to watch the Fane Riggy, fantastic, it is good. Dave Brown says, is it true you live in Gateshead, Bromley? It absolutely is true. I live in Gateshead, yes. So if you are in Gateshead, I mean, I never ever go into Gateshead, so just sort of live in the area, but don't do anything with Gateshead, to be honest. So, yeah, do live there though. Spanner says, team lineup looks strong. Also can't wait to see the lads in the new kit. I'd agree, mate. I'm looking forward to seeing that as well. John Paul, there he is. We need to remember the round of 32 boys just came back 3 days ago, so when we see them in the second half, they won't be fully up to scratch. You are absolutely right. Morning to you, Jay. Yeah, morning. It nearly is. Nearly past midnight. He doesn't live in Gateshead. No, you don't. And he also says, if I fall asleep during this, you all have permission to mock the visitor for 6 hours. I presume that's the visitors. Riggy in the 608, can't wait to see how he does, Reese. Absolutely. And Stephen, hello to you, my friend. Enjoy your night shift. Right. So the team news, the big shock for me. There's 2 things actually with the team news. Number 1 is Robbie is starting, which I think is interesting. Number 2, Wilson Isidore. And now I'm going to watch the broadcast a little bit in the background to see if Isidore's warming up. But Isidore isn't in the starting 11, of course. And he also wasn't in the pre-match video thing. So they did with the players coming in. So I am just wondering, is there an injury there? Is there potentially a move there for him? Am I missing something? Maybe he is warming up. If anyone has seen him warming up on the field. Currently, I've got this over-the-top camera angle where you could just see the players warming up, but you can't see who the individual players are. Also, the stadium is absolutely empty. Nobody, seemingly, in New York is particularly interested in this game. But yeah, Isidore's interesting. Yes, Jay, he could have a slight knock. That is very, very true. He very much could have a slight knock. But yeah, it is a little bit concerning if Wilson is not in the squad, whether it's an injury or whether or not it's something nefarious going on, maybe. Reese says he was a chatty white earlier. I'm sure he was. We've got 93 people watching the stream as well, which is, I don't know how many people would watch the stream today. And I hummed and hawed about, this today, thinking, right, okay, will it be worthwhile? But I feel like, 93 people in there. I don't know how many people will be staying up to watch the game. I doubt it'll be all that many. But hey, join me if you are. Why not? And also the other thing I was going to say is that the Lawns game, I actually was going to do a watch along for, but I can't anymore. I forgot that I'm busy that weekend, so there'll be no Lawns game watch along, but I will be watching the game and I will have a match review after that as well. Should we talk about the Mags? Should we talk about Eddie Howe? I feel like that is the most interesting news story to discuss right now. So Eddie Howe, of course, is gone from Newcastle United, and he's gone at a really strange time for me. I just think that if you are going to change your manager, for me, like, do it in May. Sack him at the end of the season or move him on. And it sounds like it's not even that he's been sacked. It sounds like Eddie Howe has made the decision that he doesn't believe in the project anymore. So I am like perplexed about that whole situation. I think Newcastle, look, obviously we're Sunderland, and we are biased because we are Sunderland. However, I think that they are up the creek without a paddle. I think Newcastle are in a really, really messy situation right now. Bruno Guimaraes is going to leave. That feels inevitable right now. So you're going to have Bruno on the way out. You've lost Tonali. You've lost Gordon. Lewis Hall apparently isn't massively happy. And they're replacing them with kids. You know, the average age of the signings has been 19, something like that. So this is a really quite messy situation for them. And I did a video on Beyond the Big Six today worth checking out if you want to see sort of longer form, more neutral thoughts on this rather than my biased Sunderland thoughts. But yeah, I think this is it's a really worrying situation for them. Let's see what you guys are saying in the comment. Scott Track says it's about 7 p.m. local time. It may fill up soon. I mean, it looks like they're not even open the top tier for it. So you got to wonder what the financial viability is of these tours when the stadiums aren't particularly full. And you would have thought after the World Cup, 2 Premier League teams playing in a big place like I think the stadium's in New Jersey. But you would have thought that the ground would be much fuller than what it is. I was expecting there to be probably like 20,000 people there. It does not look like there's going to be that many people there. Evening to Being Laney. Being Laney, I feel like I've not seen you on the channel for ages. Good to see that you are all well. Hope you are well. David Reed says, Little Joe wanting to leave now too is hilarious. I saw that. Is that even true? I wasn't sure if that was a troll account or not. But Joe Linton wanting out. Boy, that's not good. Well, for them. I mean, I don't really care. David Cockney Mackham says, good morning, Connor. Hello, mate. Hope you are well. John says, Howe said he left because Bruno isn't inevitably going to leave. He knows that the Mags are screwed. I'll not swear on the channel. I love it. Yeah, it does feel that way. Joe Linton, Pope and Willock all want out. I mean, losing Pope and Willock's not necessarily a bad thing. The Mags are falling apart, says Billy. Piff downsized investment is a sale of a club in the future. And I think if we're going to look at this from a Sunderland perspective, not wanting Newcastle to be strong, I think that, to be honest, you'd rather keep the owners that they've got in there, I think, because the owners at Newcastle right now are not interested in investing, as far as I can tell. It feels very much like they are downsizing their investments in sport in particular. Obviously, had the LRV golf stuff, so it's not looking good for those investment funds. Dan Swales says, Newcastle could go down the way it's going. Hello from Thailand, 6 a.m. here. Hello. Good morning to you, my friend. Bean Laney says, Newcastle ground expansion is now just the doors to leave. Malta Singh, hello, mate. How are you doing, my friend? And you'd love to see the Mags go down. It would be very, very interesting, wouldn't it? It would be good to see that happen. John Parr says, Sandro. Oh, you're doing all the Lispy stuff here. I'm not going to put the lisp on, though. But, yeah. A lot of their players are wanting out. Bean Laney, just a quiet person. I wish I could say the same. Gerard, good afternoon. Ordered 2 of your book. Sounds interesting. Excellent, mate. I'm glad you got 2 as well. Just in case the first one's not good, you've got the second one there to make sure. So yes, really, really happy that you've done that. And the sales of that are going pretty well. So I'm pretty pleased with how things are going. John Parr says, why has Mathali gone quiet? We know there's only a few million in it. Look, I think, I think, as Gwen would say, I don't know why that has gone quiet, but I think that all the news from that has came from the Mathali side or the French side of things. So my guess would be that, you know, they probably thought it was more advanced than what he was. I think fundamentally, though, if he's agreed personal terms with Sunderland and they're literally haggling over a few million euros, I think it'll get done. And I hope that's the case, because I think it would be a really, really good bit of business for us to get it done, because I think everything I've looked at with him, he looks decent. Spanner says, the Mags, the gift that keeps on giving, definitely want the Saudis to carry on the good work. David Cotley McGill, interesting lineup. Inclusion of Brown is surprising now that the World Cup heroes are back. I think it's literally a case of, though, just making sure that everyone is, you know, up to speed. I think that the case is going to be that they're going to put all the World Cup players on for the last half an hour. Interesting that Brobby starts. We talked about this at the top of the stream, but Isidore not in the 11. You know, I haven't seen him yet. Maybe we'll see him in the warm-up pictures. Oh, they're going through the Sunderland squad here. So if we see a number 18, we'll know he's about. We've got the Brobby shirt in there. They're going through all the squad numbers. But the Isidore stuff is interesting. Oh, they're doing it backwards now. So we've got the first lot of numbers. We haven't got the middle ones yet. Very annoying. And they're just focusing on these numbers on the broadcast. Just show us number 18. Right, we've got 13. We've got logo 9. Who's the captain for the day. But no, they're not going to show. They are showing we're getting off the bus. Will we see a Wilson in there? Logo 9's off the bus. Pato's off the bus. Simon Moa's off the bus. Elborg's off the bus. Still no sign of Isidore. Who knows where he is? Who knows where he is? Anyway. Oh, I'll keep watching on. We've got Ronaldo coming off the bus. Sporting himself a nice baseball cap. Ballard off the bus. He's in the squad, obviously. Hjelde sticking around. Will Hjelde be at Sunderland much longer? I don't think he will be. Chris Rigg, the star of the moment. He's definitely going to be sticking around at Sunderland, isn't he? He's going to be a big player for us this season. We've got Siddiqui off there. We've got Angulo off there. All these coming off the bus. We've got big Nori Mukiele. What a player he is. Still no sign of Wilson, though. Oh, and then we've got the full long squad walking in. So I don't think Wilson is in the squad today. Now, I think even if Wilson had an injury, I feel like he would still be with the squad. Because where else would he be? So I think it's telling. I think it's interesting that Wilson's not in there. But yeah, he definitely doesn't look like he's in the squad here. In terms of the players walking in. We'll see. We will see. Serial killer, but Cornflake says, oh, go on then, let's order the new top since it's payday. Absolutely, mate. Crack on, order it. I have ordered it. It's been dispatched today. So that is, I'm looking good for that. Looking forward to having it. We'll wear it on stream the moment I get it. KL Bromley is penny pinching. No, mate. Never penny pinching. Absolutely not. Gerard says, I want to read it in stereo. Nah, I'm going to gift one. Oh, excellent. Excellent. Good. The gift of my book. The perfect gift. Gaz Dukes, good evening from Bishop. Me and the boys stopping to watch the match. Excellent, mate. Stick around for the game. We've got, how many people? We've got 200 people watching the stream right now, which is a lot of people for this time of night. I don't know if I wasn't doing this stream. I don't know if I would be sitting up and watching this game. Because it is late. It is late. David Cockney Michael says, how was the five-a-side with James in your secret training PL? Me and James had an absolute... We were on the same teams at our five-a-side, and we were absolutely awful. Now, what I will say is that what shocked me the most about the game was the fact that James downed tools. He was really not happy with how it was going. Couldn't hit a barn door. And he... God, he just struggled so much. And I struggled as well. I mean, I was no good. We got absolutely bad, so it didn't work. We really struggled on that one. Talby and Xhaka are the only two not back apparently. Yeah, I think that makes sense, doesn't it? Is there anyone else who was not meant back, who wasn't back yet? I'm trying to think who got far on the World Cup, but yeah, I think that is about right. I also did a tier list today, by the way. And of the Sunderland managers. It's available for members now, but it'll come out over the weekend. But I enjoyed doing that. It was about 25 minutes, something like that. Ranking every single Sunderland manager. So check that out. I think I put it up for 10:30 on Saturday morning. So you can watch that on Saturday morning. Or if you remember, you can watch it now. Thane, I am brilliant, mate. How are you, my friend? The only thing I'm concerned about right now heading into tonight is that my throat feels a little bit sore. And the other day, when I did the watch-along for the Liverpool game, by the end of it, my throat was killing us. So I'm just a little bit worried that by the time this game finishes in, like, how long? 2 hours' time, something like that. By the time this game finishes, I'm not going to have a voice. That is my big concern right now. But yeah, other than that, I'm feeling good, mate. John Paul says, if Enzo wasn't playing, I'd be asleep. We're all here for Enzo, right? Yeah, Enzo and Chris Rigg right now, they're the two that I'm sticking around with. They are the two. Malta went to bed for a wee kip, mate. That was the right thing to do. See, I played football tonight. Very busy man with my football. I played football, not with James, in a different game. I got in. I had my tea a little bit late, so just one of them where if I could have, I probably should have went to sleep about 5 o'clock, but it wasn't to be. Stephen, are you the only one working? Well, technically I am working, mate. Technically I am. This is kind of work for me. It's very easy work, but it is work. Is Copley down in tools off to the Mirror? I don't think he wants to go to the Mirror. As somebody who's worked for the Daily Mirror, I can tell you that being at the Daily Mirror is not the place to be for James Copley. He's better sticking where he is. Gwen Hartley says, looking on Flashscore, there are no subs showing for its leads there. Oh, I imagine it's just because we haven't published them. The subs will be all the World Cup players plus the youngsters. I hope that Chichirov gets a chance today. I think he's impressed in the World Cup. Proctor as well, he's impressed. Oh yeah. Other ones, Alderete and Mounier. So there you are. Those are the other two that we are missing. Channel is the match on. So you get it at SCFC Live. Or if you're in the UK, it's also on Premier Sports. So if you want to watch it on there, if you've got a Premier Sports, I don't know how many people have Premier Sports subscriptions, but it is on there as well if you want to watch. Did you watch Where Eagles Dare? David Hanby asks. Yes, I did. However, I feel it is not right for me to share my analysis of that until Taff is back. So, my review of Where Eagles Dare will come in me and Taff's next video, which will probably be in about 2 weeks' time, because he's currently enjoying himself in the Mediterranean without Wi-Fi. Hydration break, absolutely. Hydration breaks are going to be key. Maybe I'll have to go off at half time and refill my bottle. In fact, my bottle, if you can see here, I don't know if you can. No, I don't think you can. Oh, you can just about. It got an injury at 5-a-side. Can you see? There is a crack in it. There you are, you can see it. So this bottle of mine is going to need replacing, which I'm not happy about. Thane says, I'm looking forward to the game, but it's going to mess me up tomorrow. But for Sunderland, it is worth it. It is absolutely worth it. 100%. Why not? John Paul says, second game at the USA Tour had Humes on the right. I mean, he played the first game on the right, didn't he? I actually think that Trey Hume really did well towards the end of the season on the right wing. So, look, I'm not saying it's a long-term solution, but I don't hate it. He scored a very, very important goal for us in the Premier League when we beat Chelsea on the final day. 4 missing. Alderete, Talby, Jacques Mounier. Excellent. Thane says, but at this rate, Hume will be starting right wing against Ipswich because I'm struggling to see us bringing one in before then. There, mate, you just need to relax. You're very, I feel like you're very, very anxious about the transfers and the signings. And we all are a little bit, but anything can happen. We can sign a player tomorrow. Sunderland are so quiet with the business. Hence why this morning I didn't do a live stream, because I was looking at it and I was like, fundamentally, what have I actually got to talk about today? It's like, we've got a live stream tonight. Everything else we need to talk about, we need to cover in the live stream to watch the game. So yes, I would love Sunderland to be making noises in terms of content creation. But no, I'm not worried. I'm not worried. And even if Hume does start on the right wing, we ended the season with Hume on the right wing and he did really, really well. Kassoon says Leeds are missing key players. Yeah, Dominic Calvert-Lewin looks like he's injured. So, I don't know what's happening there. That's a shame. Jay says, I'm staging rebellion against the wife. She was out the house for 12 hours and left me with the kids. That's why I'm up watching. Fair enough, mate. Pip Walker says, morning, Connor. Currently in Cramlington Hospital. Wife in labour. Getting ready to welcome another SCFC fan into this world. Class, mate. Class. Is that Cramlington, like, in the northeast? Yeah, where I'm from. Blythe. But excellent. Congratulations to you. It's good to have a new Sunderland fan to the world. Make sure you show them the live stream. Him or her. When they're watching this, I was just making sure you haven't got a gender on there. Yeah, show them the live stream. It could be the first thing they see in the world is my baldy bonts. But no, congratulations, mate. Congratulations. Where is DCL? He's injured, apparently. He is injured. Congratulations, absolutely, from Gwen. Good morning to you, Charles. Hope you're well. Thane says, at this rate, it'll be Mathali, and that's because even then, that's dragging on because we've been in talks for weeks according to the Toulouse director of football. Bromley's bottles, new merch idea. Absolutely, I need one. So what month are we predicting Newcastle get relegated in? When do we play them last? Is it like April? Maybe you predict April. Start of May. Actually, I think it's the start of May. Start of May. Start of May. We've got 3 weeks. Just chill. Absolutely. Charles Hunter says, look, you have us to take your mind off your wife's complaining about labour. Taft's t-shirts and Bromley's bottles merch lines, get it done. Yes, we should get it done. Good morning to you, Stu. Hope you're well. Good morning to you, Will. Hope you are well. Glenn says the big man up front will bully this Leeds defence. Listening in from Oklahoma, USA. Thanks for covering the game. Absolutely. Go Sooners. I think I've got that right. I'm sure it's the Oklahoma Sooners or the college team. Let me know if I am right or wrong on that. I'm not really a big one on the college sports. Malta Singh, I love how we keep all of our business quiet. It's very good. Although for a content creator, a little bit frustrating. We could do with some drama out there. James says, my game plans was the first half and then head to bed and watch the match and watch the watch along for the second half. Excellent, mate. That is a good plan. Grant in real life says, any update on the sponsor? Never mind the transfer activity. Well, I think James Copley put a post out. Look, I can't say where I've heard this information from, but I was told a long time, well, I don't know, a month ago. I've been talking about it on this channel. that we've got a sponsor lined up. Apparently it's going to be announced with the away kit. I don't know though. At this point, I'm beginning to wonder if the person that I've spoke to about this is just a gobshite and is wrong. Because why wouldn't they have announced it by this point? I don't know. Stephen Hensel, 4-0, Sunderland. Yeah, why don't you get your predictions in the comments? But 4-0 would be nice for that. Thane, you're impatient. That's fine, mate. We all have our issues. And if impatience is yours, then that is fine. Gerard says, I don't even think about transfers. What will be, will be. And it's much better than being linked to donkeys not getting games at the big six or teams relegated. Yes, mate. That's fine. Yeah. John Parr says, I'm not too worried about Hume on the right, but I want one in so they can adapt to the squad and show their quality. John, mate, I am 100% with you. SCFC Jules says, here was me thinking I was safe from all these late games when the World Cup finished. I'm too old for this tish. Yes, absolutely. Ken Walsh, is this a tournament or are we just playing them as friendlies? These are just friendlies. There is nothing lying on these games at all beyond fitness. Steve says Mathali will be the second season to come in. One will be done that we didn't expect. Malta Singh says, do you think Brown could make some early squads? I don't see a world where Alan Brown's playing minutes for Sunderland in the Premier League, if I'm being honest. I mean, we're in the pecking order right now, he's number 6. Because we've got Lefay, Rigg, Diarra, Siddiqui, Xhaka. Then it would be Brown. So no, he might get on the bench. Maybe he might come on if we've got injuries or something, but I don't see it happening. I don't see that happening. Change of Crisis says, will we get to see if we're missing out on that Bosnian centre-back? We will. He is playing. Mehramovic is playing in this game. Malta Singh, imagine if we send the Mags down. We don't want to think about that yet. Let's worry about us. Let's worry about where we go. And if they go down, I don't think they'll go down, but if they do go down, it would just be very funny. Anyone want a bacon sandwich? I've just had my tea. I'm good, mate. I am good. What are you watching the game on? I am on SCFC Live. I will update the time on the screen to go with my stream. So if you just want to pause it and whatnot, make sure you're on the same time. Please feel free. Change of Crisis says just go out and get Ahmad. If only it was so simple. Malta Singh, haha, I just love it. R.I.P. Keegan. Yes, rest in peace, Kevin Keegan. Even though he was of a black and white persuasion, a legend of the game. Good morning to you, Jamie. Hope you are well. Pip, yes mate, Whitley Bay resident, not far from you, gender unknown, soon to be revealed. I'll be sure to show them your bald bonds on the live stream before anything else. Thank you, mate. I appreciate that. And obviously let us know the gender and the name at your earliest convenience. Johnny says, hi, all sunny but windy here at Riverside Beach, New Zealand. Good to see. I love how so many people watch this just around the world. It is awesome, and there are so many comments. I can't even keep up with all the comments. Who knew that there'd be 300 people, by the way? Please like the stream, subscribe, and all that good stuff. But 300 people watching the stream at 20 past 12. It's the same as the 10:30 crowd. We're just loving it. We are just absolute sycophants for watching Sunderland. Staying up till the early hours. What else we got? Sunderland to win 2-0, says Jay. Thoughts with Thane, says the Gaz Dukes. SFC Thane also says, at least we have a stronger team in the second half. Siddiqui, Diarra, Anguilla and Adingra could get some minutes. Absolutely. Has Abdullahi been sold to Yup Sport? I don't know if that's officially went through yet. So I'm not 100% sure on that. Do I get Bar on the back of the new shirt? Absolutely, mate. Absolutely, just do it. Why not? Why not? Let's see. Malta Singh says, we do have a sponsor lined up. It may be that they want to announce it with the third kit, as that might be the only one which is ordered late enough to be included in that order. It is possible that is the case. Grant in real life says, are we not going to have Hume, Bar and Tarby battling out for the starting right wing spot? Well, I think Tarby maybe. Abdullah Bar. Absolutely not. I would be shocked if we ever see Abdullah Bar wearing a Sunderland shirt again. Are they playing Mundle because they're looking to sell him? No, they're probably, I think, giving him reps to see what he looks like. Last summer, I think they probably viewed Mundle as a potential option, to play in the team, and it didn't really come out that way because he got injured. This stadium, by the way, is an absolute ghost town. There cannot be more than about 4,000 people here, which is surprising because you would have thought Sunderland and Leeds have got pretty strong support, and that they're pretty notable teams. It is surprising how few people are at this ground. Change of Crisis says, do you think Diarra might play on the right? I don't see him getting many minutes in the middle. He probably will, though. I think Diarra is a cover player for Siddiqui and Lefay. I also think Diarra is going to be in for a very good season, is my honest thought process. I think that with a full preseason behind him, he'll do pretty well. So, Yeah, I think maybe he'll play a little bit on the right, but we didn't do it that much last season. I think Diarra, though, he will get minutes. He will. Bertley says Brown was on the bench of the Championship. I mean, he's just come from Middlesbrough as well. Yeah, not for me. Brown, SFC Thing says Brown did well against York, but against Liverpool he struggled with their press. I would agree with you there. Miles says, oh my God, just about to go to bed. I thought the game was tomorrow night. No, it is tonight. It is tonight. Graham says, thanks for the watch along. Checking in from San Antonio, Texas. Heading up to Philly tomorrow to watch the lads on Sunday. Don't get home much, so really excited to see them live. Excellent, Graham. San Antonio, what do I know about them? The Spurs. You've got the San Antonio Spurs. My favourite wrestler, Shawn Michaels, is from San Antonio. That's about it. That's everything I know about San Antonio. I did go to Houston once, though. And what a miserable place Houston is. Not a fan of Houston. People lovely, but not a fan. Malta saying, do we have any suspensions to deal with at the start of the season? No. Ballard served his because he got sent off against Wolves. So unless any player we buy had one, then we shouldn't. I'm pretty sure. Would be nice to see Brown score against them again, yeah. But wasn't it a Junior Firpo own goal in the end? I think it went down as. Any Isidore sightings? No, I have not seen any Isidore sightings. Need a hat on, very shiny. I am a shiny man. A baldy man. The problem is if I put a hat on, I'll be really hot. So you're just going to have to deal with my shiny head. Gerard says, scores doesn't matter. Remember our club, 5 champ games before the playoffs. Simply prepping for the playoffs. So can't imagine we put much importance to results. Yes, it's all about the reps. All about the reps. Morning to you, Ray Tracy. I hope you are well. Wrexham beat these 3-2. They absolutely did. We are wearing the new home strip, which is good. Do you think Ahmad starts every game for Man United? Probably not. No. No, I don't think he will. The Football Fanatics puts 3 claps. Hello, mate. Hope you are well. Why is Brobby starting, says David Budding? I'm guessing it's to do with this Isidore situation. Now, Isidore might be here. He might well be here, but I have seen no Wilson Isidore yet. And therefore, I have come to the conclusion that he is either injured or getting, I don't know, sent somewhere. That's my guess. I don't know what's happened with Wilson Isidore. Pips, we have a beautiful home kit as a birth present for your kid. Congratulations. Absolutely. Is DCL injured? DCL is injured. Malta Singh says, haha, you know we can't get enough of Sunderland. Absolutely. Where is Taff? He is on holiday. He's on a cruise somewhere. He was in Malaga this morning last time I spoke to him. Bradley says, staying up for the game. Come on, Sunderland. Great content lately, Connor Bromley. Getting me by. Absolutely, Bradley. Appreciate that. Ahmad is on his way. I hope so. But until I see somebody like Ornstein tweet it or a journalist I trust, then maybe not. Tony says, hi guys, just come on to like falling asleep. Good night. Hello, good night. Have a good sleep. We'll see you in the morning. I have sport were phoned by a Yorkshireman. Funny. Very good. No Gammon says, tuning in from Brizzy, Australia. Nice 9:36 a.m. 36 a.m. game for me. Makes a bloody change. Excellent, mate. Excellent. Glad you can join us. Morning from Bathgate, Scotland. Hope we are well. Hope we are well. Thane goes for a 3-1 Sunderland win. My prediction, I'm going to go for an entertaining, right, 4-3 Sunderland win. I'll go for an entertaining one. Sunderland 3-2. Excellent. Yeah. Charles Hunter says 300 here now. How many by full time? You know what? I'd be really happy with 150. Really happy with 150. Ray Tracy, anyone else thinks Netflix would be a nice sponsor? Absolutely would be. But they don't do much sponsoring, do they? I don't know if they sponsor anything. Tickets are like $90. Wow, that is massive. Very expensive. 90 quid. Jeez. Ron Havelock says, if you get it for Christmas, you could get Bar Humgood. You could if you got Abdullah Bar on your shirt. Glenn says, Connor, you have fans all over the world. Don't be surprised to see people watching the stream. That is true. I appreciate that. Connor, you should run a sweep on Taft's 70 bottles of champagne, mate. Yeah, we should. We absolutely should. John Parr, I don't rate Mundles by any means at the Prem level. West Ham should be after him for 10 million after Somerville loss. I'd take 10 million. That would be good. Hello from Trinidad. Excellent. Kenwyn Jones. Dwight York. Everyone else. It's a midweek game in New Jersey. That is true. That is very true. The tickets were 160 for halfway line. That is mad. Texas is massive. It is. It absolutely is. Checking in all the way from Red House. Hello, mate. I hope you're well. Hi, Connor. I'm supporting the lads from Uruguay. Same country as Gus Poye and Juan Sartori. Excellent. Thanks you for joining us on the stream today. Knowing our luck, we'll sign Balogun and he will somehow be banned for us. Joshua shouts it. You think we will buy any players 2 to 4 before start of the season? We'll have a right winger in. I think that the minimum will be a left back and a right winger. So 2. I think we'll do 2. Connor, are you doing a commentary of the game or just a fan's reaction? The other day I did it, and it'll basically just be me watching the game and reacting to the game, and then also involving your comments in it. I don't do a direct commentary of it, mainly because in the second half it gets very difficult when all the young players come on. Damo predicts a 3-2. Excellent. Do we have a list of subs? No, we do not, unfortunately. What is wrong with Houston? It's the most diverse city in the USA. Mate, the problem I had with Houston, bearing in mind it was 11 years ago that I went, was that if you do not have a car, the place is impossible to walk around. And it was so hot. Look, I can't blame it for the weather, but the heat in Houston, Texas was unbelievable. So that is the problem that I had with Houston. But I did go to the Space Museum and I really, really did enjoy that. So it is what it is. Bobby wants to get a couple of games in before the Ipswich game. Yeah, he needs to get his reps. He needs to get ready. Cygnus says, Connor, I have a silver car to sell. Want the red again? No, mate. But if you do have a car to sell or buy, check out Serenity Cars. There's a good shout out. Check them out. Leeds fan here. Hello, mate. Welcome to the stream. Surprised you're watching this, Connor, and not Connor McGilligan, but we'll take it. SFC Dan Luke says, also living in Brisbane, Australia. Love these World Cup and friendly kickoff times. Lewis Football Media. Hello, mate. How are you doing? Hi, Connor. What is your early season predictions? How do you think we'll do in all 4 competitions? I think Premier League will probably finish. I think I want a top 10 finish, but I would fundamentally, if we did really well in the Europa League, I would sacrifice less. But I basically don't want to, like 12th upwards for me. Europa League, quarterfinals at the minimum. I think the FA Cup and the League Cup, honestly, like I'd love to do well in them, but fundamentally, it doesn't really matter. I don't really care that much because we're in the Europa League. I would love to have a proper Europa League one though, like quarterfinal, semi-final. Imagine a Europa League semi-final at the Stadium of Light. Imagine how electric that would be. It would be unbelievable. Isidore off to West Ham? Maybe. Be interesting if that was to happen. Thoughts on CONCACAF coming out against FIFA plans? Love it, mate. I think that the way that FIFA is run is not good. I think the fact that the UEFA's come out and have said that they're not going to compete in FIFA competitions if this goes ahead. I think Infantino he's not my cup of tea. He's not my cup of tea. And yeah, I'm happy. I'm all for it. I am all for it. Where are these players, by the way? Why it's past and we are still in the tunnel? Are we all still in the tunnel? Also, there's loads of things happening here in the comments. Also, somebody says the die-in fee's been agreed. So let's check out Twitter and see if that is just a troll. And yeah, I'm not seeing anything about the Diane Mathali fee being agreed. Is it weather delays? It doesn't look like the weather's bad though. Cygnus, hey, what about photos, mate? I may need corporate or may end up getting married soon as well. That is true. And if you are doing either of those things, then Stephen Beecroft Photography is the place to check out. And the link's in the description. Cygnus, you're just throwing up the ball and I'm putting it in the hoop. If it's a basketball related joke. Talks ongoing for Isidore for loan move to West Ham. Is there? I mean, I've not seen this anywhere. Alan says, what are you most hoping to see from the game? I'm hoping to see Sunderland looking a little bit sharper. I want it to be I don't really care about the result, but I really, really enjoyed the first half against Liverpool and watching Enzo and Riggy. But the main thing is I don't want to see any injuries, and I just want to see us look sharper. I think this is a good barometer for us because Leeds are a similar level to Sunderland. I think the Liverpool game was a bit weird, but Leeds haven't had players at the World Cup, so we should be playing a pretty strong Leeds side. So it's going to be a good barometer for us to see exactly where we are. And last season, obviously, we got 4 points off Leeds. So both teams will be using it as a bit of a measuring stick. I don't think, though, even if we lost the game like 4-0, don't think it massively matters. We just need to be getting the reps in and learning. You know, last preseason we barely won a game. Have you got the new strips yet, Connor? I have bought the home top. I've ordered it. I actually made a mistake. I should have went to the store and got it, but I naively just ordered it online in the morning. So I have to wait a few days to get it, but I was at the stadium yesterday, so it was just a stupid decision. Pug Tom says, Connor, if you were a type of food, what would you be? Also, what would Taff be? What type of food would I be? Also, my stream seems to have frozen. What type of food would I be? I don't know. It's an interesting question. I mean, I love pizza. Maybe I'd be a pizza. I like cheese as well, so that would work. I'm probably about 20% cheese at this point with the amount of cheese I eat. So yeah, I'm going to say that. Anyway, are we all excited for the game? Are we all feeling good about the game today? Have we got official subs? No, we don't have the official subs yet. Makamula says, had a nap earlier, so should be reasonably awake for the game. On another note, it's funny to see the mags implode, and it is. We touched on this at the start of the stream. The mag situation is hilarious. A boiled egg. I do look like a boiled egg, to be fair. My wife says I look like a handsome potato. That's my normal one. Handsome potato. Brad Palmer says, hi Connor, I hope to see a good attacking game. I agree, mate. We've got fireworks and everything going on here. Taff would be a jam roly-poly. Taff would be a luxury steak. I presume that's a steak EEK and not a steak that you would stab a vampire with. They got 4 points off Leeds last season, but where they were one of the most impressive teams at the SOL. Yeah, they were very good in the second half that day, weren't they? They were really, really good in the second half. But anyway, we are doing handshakes now. So I'm looking forward to watching this game. Leeds are pretty strong. They've got, of the players playing, they've got literally Mills and Cairns are the only non-starters. But to be fair, they don't actually have a goalkeeper. So Cairns is their best goalkeeper that they've got right now. Bornau is a bit of a cover player for them. But everyone else is pretty much a strong player. I've got Harry Wilson playing up front. I'm guessing he's playing like the 10. And then we are pretty strong. I mean, if you look at our team there, apart from Elborg, Brown, and maybe Mundell, we are about as strong as we could be, which is good. The teams are out. The teams are out. So we are, if you are not seeing a referee on the pitch, the team are out. Ignore my spell, it's Friday and I haven't slept all day. That is true. That is now officially Friday. Leeds, they were really good in the second half of the season. They were. I think Leeds are in for a good season this year, to be honest. I think that Leeds are in a pretty decent place where they are. I don't know if I'd agree with that Leeds are stronger than us now. I don't think I'd agree with that. But I think Leeds are in a good place. By the way, you are right, Paul. Our kit is absolutely gorgeous, isn't it? It is an all-timer of a kit. Big fan. I'm looking forward to having it. Taff would be a pie, especially one cooked in Guinness. Yeah, he probably would be. I don't mind it. Right, we've got 337 people on stream. That is good. That is good stuff. So, as I said, normally for the stream, for the watch-alongs, am I kicking off 5 minutes late again? But normally for the watch-alongs, kind of just giving thoughts as the game goes on and checking out all of your comments and stuff as to come in. I don't know the bench, but I think Wilson Isidore is not on it. But yeah, we don't seem to have announced one. I'll see if I can find it online. Maybe a journalist has tweeted it out. But we don't have any journalists over there, so they probably haven't. The first thing I come up is Alan Shearer putting a tribute to Eddie Howe on my Twitter. Newcastle having to pay 11 million euros in compensation to appoint their manager. That's also just appeared. So, yeah, there we are for that one. 11 million euros to get a manager from themselves. Well, from PIF. Ask Copley, he should know. I mean, I texted him earlier today, he hasn't replied. Sickness. Hey, chat, did you know Connor has written in a book, may shamelessly sell it out himself later. Sell it out himself later, mate. Yeah, I do have a book, and I'm sick everyone knows about the book. You're probably sick of me talking on about the book, but it is out. We should, in theory, have the copies of the book on Wednesday. So if you want to go to the LF store on Wednesday, you will be able to pick up a copy, hopefully. It is at the printers as of now. Anyway, the game is about to kick off. So I am going to set the clock at the moment that it does kick off. So referees looking around. They're giving us a nice image there of Jaden Bogle. Big Dan Ballard in there as well. And we are still not off. What is going on with these Americans taking so long to kick off a game of football? The game was scheduled for past, and we are at 36, and it's still not off. And the whistle, is it going to blow? Okay, we're off. Right, there we are. We are officially off. Excellent. Stop talking about the book. I will, mate. I'm sorry. Sign of the Times, journos be funded. Oh. Journos be funded to follow a USA tour. Yeah, mate, they are not going. Rose Pop says, have you wrote a book? Like, yes, I have, mate. Definitely. And I'm only being sarcastic, but I don't care. I have. Right. How are we looking then? First 30 seconds of the game. Elborg has the ball currently. Ushering the team up the pitch. Baiting the Leeds press. I also think I've got the team wrong because it looks like Mills is playing up front. Also not a big fan of the camera. I feel like the camera's a little bit too zoomed in for me. Maybe that's just me. But yeah, we've got Enzo, we've got big Brian Brobby. It is so lovely seeing Brian Brobby in that kit, by the way. Sunderland look absolutely majestic. This is like, definitely this is the best Sunderland top of my life. I think it is incredible. Leeds, though, enjoying a little bit of possession. Joe Rodon, not a big fan. I think he's the weakest of the Leeds defenders. Andy Ross. Yeah, I agree, mate. Kit looks amazing. And Louise Robertson. Kit looks amazing as well. Somebody says I'm 25 seconds behind. I can only apologise. But that is where my stream is. Gary says, of any Sunderland player who we had last season, who do you think could improve the most? I think there's two answers to this question. Number one, the answer is, and but the possession, Leeds just have possession right now. For anyone who's not watching the game. Number one is Chris Rigg, obviously, and Sunderland's just won a foul there. Ballard getting fouled by Mecha. Yeah, Chris Rigg, I think he will massively improve. I think he already looks like he's improved from what we've seen in pre-season. He's filled out a little bit. And number two is Habib Diarra, who I think will benefit from a full pre-season. Well, full-ish. Obviously, he's been at the World Cup, but I think Diarra will be a big player for us this season. So those two are the one for me. You're a minute ahead of me. Slow down. Well, somebody's saying I'm behind. Somebody's saying I'm a minute ahead. I am on the SCFC live stream. So anyone who's watching on the SCFC live stream, I'm guessing it's going to be about where I am. But I'm at, what, 2:25 now. Yeah. Sunderland are just baiting that Leeds press. Mukiele. Oh, it's just so good having the lads back. And there's been a ball played through, trying to get Brobby on the counter, but it's went straight through to Alex Cairns. As if Alex Cairns, by the way, is the Leeds #1 goalkeeper. I didn't even heard of Alex Cairns. Paul Pope, good morning from Bangkok. The kick looks amazing. Absolutely. It absolutely does. It's good to see we've got, what, New Zealand today, Australia, America, Thailand. We've got so many places around the world. Graham Lindsay says he's 47 seconds ahead in Holt Whistle. I don't know. Maybe I'll reload it, see where we're at with it, but it is what it is. In the Clarks makes a very good point. Is this the first time we've played in New Jersey and worn a new jersey? It may be. And Sunderland are through here, and Rigg has it on the edge of the box. Plays it Trey Hume, but he's still got the ball. Oh, and he's just lost it there. But that was a decent little break for Sunderland. Leeds have been able to clear it out for a Sunderland throw-in. But yeah, the intensity looks there. Lefay, quick on it, straight away, quick throw-in. Just what we want to see. And now we're recycling the ball around the back. Chris is tuning in. Oh, need to reload this. But Chris tuning in from Edmonton, Alberta. Are you an Oiler? A Flame? I suppose the Flames are Calgary, aren't they? But are you an Oiler? Yeah, Oilers. I'm a Maple Leaf, so maybe we've got some beef there. I do appreciate some Connor McDavid, though. There we are, getting the niche references in. Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl as well. Another Canadian hockey player. Oh, plays for the Oilers. I don't think he's Canadian. So there we go. Oilers. Excellent, mate. Excellent. Sunderland played the ball forward. It went to Nori Mukiele on the right wing, who has trying his best to dribble past the Leeds defence, and he does dribble past Gabby Goodmanson. Whips the ball in the area, but it's been cleared. Well, whips it. It was a low-driven cross, and it's cleared. Sunderland, a little bit of pressure here. Ronaldo's got it now on the left. Plays it into Mundle. Go on, Mundle. This is your big chance. You got to take it. Mundle loses the ball. We've got our advert for the kit out there as well, which is nice. You're in Seattle, Washington. Excellent. So that means you're a fan of the Kraken and the Seahawks. Oh, and Sunderland, looks like Riggy's lost the ball in the edge of the area, but he's won it back. He's won it back. It's okay. Leeds catch us in a bit of a high press. The game's actually started at a pretty good intensity for pre-season. Tanaka's just won the ball off Ronaldo and played it at Cairns, and Cairns has whipped it up. But yeah, the game seems to have started at quite a ferocious pace for a pre-season match, which is good. But yeah, it looks like two teams that look strong. I think the Liverpool game the other day definitely had full early pre-season vibes. That this seems to be much better, and the ball's up, and it looks like Brobby. Oh, Brobby nearly had a chance in there, but I think it's borne out in a good challenge just as he's running him one-on-one. But Brobby, yeah, he's looking sharp. He's looking like he wants to get in behind. And if you remember when Brobby came in last summer, he looked like he had two left feet. And you can already see that he doesn't look like that. So that's good. In the cloud says, I hate these pre-seasons not being a stroll. Calm down. Yeah, it feels like there's beef between Sunderland and Leeds. They're always interesting games as well, Sunderland and Leeds. Even if the one at Ellen Road last season was an absolute stinker. Leeds still got it, but 09's cut it out. And then you've got Alan Brown pulling away. He's got Mundle running ahead of him, and he's not played the ball. He's now going to... Well, he's played it back to Mundle, but it's going to get recycled from Sunderland. No Walk Virus says, not from Washington, though. Fan of the Columbus Crew and the Detroit Red Wings. Fair enough, mate. Fair enough. Elborg has it now. Sunderland definitely... There's an interesting tactic here whereby Elborg, I think for the third time, is sitting with the ball and Leeds aren't pressing them. They're sort of marking the options, which I think is a pretty interesting approach. And we are trying to bait them in. Leeds get out of the Sunderland press, but Nemecha ends up losing the ball. He's a bit of a... Yeah, I don't know how to feel about Felix Nemecha. He's very... Oh, Lefay's lost it in a bad place, and Nemecha's got it. And he's shot it in. Ha! Just as I was slating Nemecha. God. Wow. I think I'll take blame for that one. I don't even know what happened. Lefay lost it, and then the camera angle was very weird. And then suddenly Nemecha just was shooting the ball, and Elborg was just all over the place. So what? 09 has it, plays it into Lefay. Lefay takes a touch, passes it, Tanaka tackles him, and then Nemecha's about 40 yards out, and he shoots it in elbow. It's just an absolute no man's land. It ends up hitting the post and going in. Yeah, not great. Yeah, that is me. I take full blame. This is all my fault. Nemecha heard me. Yeah, he did. This is all on me. This is where the watch-alongs die. The Leeds fans here. Hello, mate. Yes, it is 1-0. We'll update the score. We'll give Leeds the goal. There you are. Leeds are winning. I think Elborg will want that one back. I think Lefay getting pressed from Tanaka. Not ideal. But look, that's the sharpness that'll come by the time the season starts. But very, very frustrating. And it looks like Lefay's been played in, and it's been played out for a Sunderland corner. Sunderland are looking pretty sharp in the attack, though. They're looking sharp on the ball. Don't say this about the new shirt. The new shirt's gorgeous. Can we sub on roofs? No, we'll give Elborg. Look, it's a pre-season game. Elborg's young, although I think he's about the same age as Roofs. You've got to give him time. At the end of the day, they've all got to work out these kinks. Mistakes can happen. And to be fair, he's probably not expecting Enzo Lafay to lose the ball there. And we also just talked about how, and Sunderland have a corner, by the way, so Alan Brown's got it on the edge. Plays it 09. Go on, 09. Oh, and he chips it, and it just goes. Yeah, Leeds end up clearing it. Thought 09 was going to blast that there, to be honest. Stephen Hensel, yes, it has kicked off. Sunderland are already losing 1-0. The ball gets whipped up, and my streams went a bit pixelated. Probably all this live streaming and watching along. And a good tackle from Nori Mukiele on Gary Goodmanson. But yeah, it's Lafay really who's at fault for the goal. Elborg's out of position, but fundamentally I think he's been told to be a little bit out of position. Like, they want him to push forward on that. So I don't think that is... I mean, I think he should do better, and it looks like he's lost his feet and he's lost his bearings of the goal, but fundamentally Lafay's lost the ball in a bad place. So I'm not willing to put the full blame on that for Melker Elborg. But it's fine, I predicted a 4-3. So we predicted 4-3. That means Leeds have got to score 3 goals. And a nice Leeds fan. Congrats for the Europa League last season. I appreciate that, my friend. It's your fault you were slagging off Leeds. Was I slagging off Leeds? I don't know if I was slagging off Leeds. Junior Crisis says his position was all wrong. He was practically on 09's toes. He didn't need to be that far out. He probably didn't, but he has been far out all game. We don't know what has been said. So, you know, about his positioning. Sunderland though have won the ball. Robbie has it, and it's went to Alan Brown. Alan Brown's been busy in this game. Mundell's got it on the wing. He cuts back, plays it to Enzo, who plays it to Ronaldo. It's all down the left channel here. Enzo's got it back. Can't get over how glorious Sunderland look in this red and white kit. Though, I didn't think you were allowed stripes on the back for Premier League games. Riggs has been absolutely smashed. And the ball's out for a Sunderland throw-in. Both teams are looking tenacious here. Looking very, very tenacious. We've had a few slide tackles going already. You know, Sean Longstaff there, who's a mag, to be fair. He's probably seeking revenge for Sunderland doing the double over his beloved team last season. Your channel is an embarrassment. Lily White, that's not very nice, mate. But if you feel that way, don't watch it. Robbie's got it on the edge of the box. It's been cleared out. Honestly, mate, I'm hurt that you're so upset about my channel. Leroy, sorry, but Brown has to go. We need far better in the squad. I do like him in the Championship, though, just not Europe. I don't think Alan Brown is going to be sticking around at Sunderland too long. But, yeah, we're 12 minutes in. There's been a goal that's come from a mistake. Let's not have too many judgments. We're playing it down. Hume. And it goes to Ballard on the halfway line. Ballard to 09. 09 sweeps it straight across to Ronaldo. You know, you can say what you want about Luke 09, but his distribution and his passing is very, very good. Although I've said that now, he'll probably end up smashing out of play. Sunderland, though, playing it kind of around the Leeds 2 banks. It's went over to Trey Hume, who whips the ball in the box to big Brian Brobby, who can't get his foot on it. But it's good to see early crosses going in for the big man in the middle. And Leeds trying to break up. Sunderland press them, and it is a throw-in. Magnus says you have top class. Well, yeah, I mean, I think the Leeds fan, you know, he's a lily white. He's probably just not a fan of Sunderland. So he's come on here and put a 2-foot tackle in. That's fine. Ryan says, I'm assuming Connor has annoyed a few fans from his Big Five channel and they've brought their triggered selves to the comments. No, I think most Leeds fans... I mean, apparently I'm a Leeds lover. That's why I always hear that I love Leeds. And you know, I got a lot of time for Leeds. Family who are Leeds fans. So, you know... I've got no beef with Leeds. No beef. Connor has several channels. He does. Jockey says, do you think you're going to win the Europa League? I mean, I don't think we'll win the Europa League. I think there's a reality, though, that if you are a Premier League team in Europe, in the Europa League or the Conference League, then you do have a chance to win it because your budget is at that sort of level. I mean, Sunderland are going to be similar budget to the biggest teams in that competition because of the Premier League TV revenue. But no, I don't think, like, if I was a betting man, I think I've said before, I kind of see Sunderland being in the quarterfinal. My stream's also frozen, which is far from ideal, doing a watch along. It's been played up to Brobby and goes out. But yeah, my stream, I'm going to have to refresh it because it is now delayed. Oh, there we are. I'm back to normal time now. But no, I don't think Sunderland will win the Europa League, if I'm being brutally honest. Let's see where they are. Why do we get Newcastle fans? I think it's a Leeds fan or a Newcastle fan, unless I've missed a Newcastle fan comment in here. Rig has it in the box. He whips one and he tries to play it in Lafay, but it goes eventually out for a Sunderland throw-in. Jingle All the Way says, why do you care about the Europa League when you have 2 cup finals next season in the Premier League? I have no idea what you're talking about. But why wouldn't I care about the Europa League? I don't even know what the 2 cup finals... What are Sunderland's 2 cup finals in the Premier League next season? Are they Newcastle? Is that what we're saying? Yeah, Sunderland though, playing it around nicely. Alan Brown plays it to Dan Ballard. Ballard, marauding forward as he likes to do, plays an almost a very nice ball to Chris Rigg, but it's cut out from Gabby Goodmanson. Gabby Goodmanson is a player that I rate a lot. I think he is potentially a player that Leeds will be able to sell some money from. And Leeds building a nice attack yet. Mills plays it over. He's been quite impressive so far. Youngster coming in. Bogle down the right. His cross is deflected from Ronaldo, and Sunderland are able to seemingly get it away. O'Nien whips it up the field into big Brian Brobby, who nearly holds the ball up. But when Brian Brobby gets that fitness and that sharpness, Brian Brobby's holding that ball up all day long. Change of crisis. Newcastle talk about us way more than the other way around. When we have the opportunity to take the picks, we take it. Take the piss, I presume it is. There have been lots of opportunities recently. I mean, fundamentally, it's a rivalry, isn't it? We all enjoy the rivalry. That's what football's all about. You enjoy playing your local teams. Fundamentally, I've got a lot of friends who support Newcastle and a lot of friends who support Sunderland. We all live in the same place. I live in Gateshead. It's full of Newcastle fans. But I walk the dog every day with loads of Newcastle fans around us and we talk about football. Leeds, though, with a little bit of possession, though playing it around the back 4. I have been surprised. This game's definitely been up a level from the Liverpool game. I think both teams look like they've taken a step up. And Mihajlovic plays a long ball forward. It's a good long ball as well. But Alan Brown does a good job of winning the ball in there. Ballard, nearly losing at centre-back. And it looks like Nemecha potentially is injured, and Sunderland are going to kick the ball out of play. Oh, it's Bogle actually who's injured. What's Bogle doing in the centre forward position? Oldest rivalry in world football. It's bound to happen. I mean, there's the rivalry between the places, isn't it? Absolutely. And a friend who supports Bury. Yeah, Jimmy. Good old Jimmy. Good old Jimmy. Glenn says, some big clubs in the Europa League this year would love to see the Italian big boys at the same night. Well, we've got to go to Milan, mate. We definitely have to go to Milan. And Demo says, apparently the supercomputer has us to finish 17th. Now, do you want me to have a rant about the supercomputer again? Is that what you really want to see? Because I can get triggered very easy. In fact, I'm triggered now. I am triggered by the supercomputer. The supercomputer, since Sunderland finished 16th in the championship under Mick Beale and Mike Dodds, the supercomputers hated Sunderland since that point. We were predicted to finish like 21st in the championship the year we got promoted. We then predicted to finish bottom of the league last season. Also, Brobby doing a masterful job of holding the ball and then getting fouled by Bornau. The supercomputer, though, uses data that isn't even related to what Sunderland are. It doesn't rate Sunderland because it didn't rate Sunderland last season. It didn't the season before. Fundamentally, that is it. So, yeah, don't like the supercomputer. Gets it wrong every year, as it would do as well. It's of course going to get it wrong every year. Steve says, how we set up Connor. Sunderland are set up. Actually, I suppose you're listening, not watching. So I've got the tactics on the screen, but it is the normal formation. We've got elbow. Sorry, there's a Yeah, 09's won a free kick. So it's Elborg, we've got 09, we've got Ballard as the back two, Ronaldo, Mukiele, then the midfield, Ronaldo being left back, Mukiele right back, midfield, it is Brown sitting, Rigg, and Lefay, then we've got Trehum on the right, Mundell on the left, and big Brian Brobby up front. And that is where we are with the team. Isidore, I don't think Isidore's here. That is a concern. That is a concern for me. Everyone banging on about XG when we've got something better than XG. Yeah, we've got GX. Absolutely made. Supercomputer rant. That was only like the little supercomputer rant. I think I've done a bigger rant than that on propaganda with TAF. But yeah, I don't... I mean, I like the supercomputer because it's good for content, but not for me. Leeds are pretty good on the break. Good movement. Yeah, I think Leeds are in for a decent season this year. I think if I was picking a outside candidate to finish in the top 8 that you wouldn't expect, I think I'd have Leeds potentially in there. Also, this thing with Elborg. So Elborg has basically pulled the ball nearly to the centre circle. Oh, and Sunderland have been played in here. Brobby. The phase played in Brian Brobby, and Brobby's decided to play it back when really he should just continue with the ball. But again, that's the sharpness that'll come with time. We don't see that interlink between Lefay and Brobby. That is going to be big for Sunderland this season. But yeah, Mukiele's got it down on the right hand side. He plays it into Brobby, but doesn't make it there. But then Lefay, I think it is, nearly gets to it, and Sunderland win the ball back in midfield. Our press has been pretty good in this game. We seem to be winning the ball quite high up, quite a bit. Ronaldo now playing it on the left. It's played into Mundell, who's running down the left. He passes it into the box. All the Sunderland players went to the front post, and the ball goes into the penalty spot. And then Leeds have whacked it up and out of play for a Sunderland throw-in. Steve says, it makes me laugh. Millwall fans sing that song saying no one likes to try and be a Sunderland. All mainstream media hates Sunderland, never give us any credit, never want Sunderland to do well. I think they enjoyed us last season. I think it's interesting. I think that the proper football journalists who love football really like Sunderland. I think it's just, when you get Sky Sports. I mean, I say that. Dave Jones is obviously a Sunderland fan. Mundell, those running down the left, plays it into Ronaldo. We're getting a bit of joy down the left in this game. We didn't get much joy against Liverpool down the left, but we're much more involved there. Brown gets it back to Ronaldo, and then it's to Lefay, who's running down the left, and he does. Surely it's a foul. No. So Tanaka obstructs Lefay, and no foul is given. So yeah, Lefay does him, and then Tanaka just gets his body in the way and puts an elbow into him. Obviously, I'm not saying like an elbow to the head. I'm not saying it should be a yellow card or anything, but definitely a foul. I don't understand what I'm watching there for that not to be a foul. Halfway through the first half, though, and referee's given an offside where Sunderland were on the break. Brown, I think Brown's been okay in this game today. Mukiele plays it in. We've got Rigg on the ball, plays it Hume. Hume passed it to Ballard, although I think that was not the intention. I think he meant to pass it to Mukiele. Brown plays it to 09. And Sunderland looking to build. 09 driving into the midfield. Plays it over to Ronaldo. Ronaldo into 09. Who's basically playing as a secondary left back at this point. And Ronaldo gets it. Oh, yes, and he gets to it. Brobby's in the middle. Oh, my days. Lefay. That could have been a goal for Sunderland. Brobby's got a pretty much an open shot on the 6-yard box and fluffs his lines. So it's a brilliant ball from Mundell. It goes to Ronaldo, who just keeps it in play. The ball's played to Brobby at pace, but he's in the 6-yard box in front of goal, and he just doesn't connect with it. It falls to Lefay, and he completely scuffs his effort. Stephen Hensel, 365 watching, only 96 press the like button. Yeah, drop it a like. Why not, guys? Just drop it a like, drop a subscribe if you're not there already. Sunderland have won the ball back in Leeds territory, though. Ball goes into the box, and it goes to Mundell, who fires it wide. But Sunderland, 2 very good attacks in the last minute. That's good. Good, positive stuff. Spanner says Enzo's first touch plucking that ball at the air was sublime. He's just sublime. He's just a sublime footballer. Full strength? No, I think Sunderland's B team against Sunderland's full strength. Leeds B team probably. I think both teams are about as full strength as each other than the difference being that we've got 4 players still not back from the World Cup and we've got like another 5 players or whatever it is on the bench. So no. Ryan Up says, is Isidore not on the bench? Does that perhaps mean that the West Ham links could be true? Is it Dinger on the bench? I don't actually know if it Dinger is. Sunderland have also won the ball up. Trey Hume. Oh, it's ended up being a foul for handball. I'm not listening to the audio, by the way. So sometimes I miss things like that. Isidore doesn't seem to be on the bench. Adingra, I'm not 100% sure on, to be honest. I can't recall seeing Adingra, but I couldn't comment as to whether or not he's on the bench or not. But Isidore, I've not seen any of the footage either before the game, and it didn't look like he was warming up. I didn't actually look for Adingra, so I don't know. I wouldn't like to speculate. I say I wouldn't like to speculate, but I'm obviously speculating about Isidore, so I'm just a giant contradiction. Sunderland are pressing Leeds high and nearly pinch the ball off Gabby Goodmanson, but they get out of it. But Sunderland are very, very high in the press today. But Leeds have got out of it really, really well, to be fair. Then Nemecha plays it out to Bogle. Bogle puts it, he's got it back, and he whips the ball into the area, and it's defended from Nordy. Tanaka's then got the ball on the edge of the area. We had that Leeds were talking about getting rid of Tanaka. I'd argue that he's possibly the best midfielder. But Tanaka plays it out. It's Bogle again on the wing. Plays it inside, back to Tanaka, who plays it back to Bogle. It's a good Leeds attack, and it comes in, and Elborg collects it up nicely. So at 26 minutes in, there's 370 people watching the stream, which is lovely. Or at least that's what my data says. And I think, apart from the error for the goal, which came from Lefay stroke Elborg, Elborg being out of position, Lefay losing the ball in a dangerous area, I think we've been all right here. We've probably created the best actual opportunity of the game with the Brobby one before. And again, we see this lovely dance that Elborg's doing, whereby he's dragging the ball up slowly so that Leeds bait and fall for the bait and go for the press. And Ballard then plays it back to Elborg. But this definitely looks like a little bit of a tactic that we're doing. I don't seem to recall last season this happening where our goalkeeper was sort of stood on the ball waiting for the press. Brobby has it. He's coming very deep to get the ball. Probably a sign that he's frustrated, maybe that he's not seen much of it in the game. Ballard to Lefay. Lefay plays it in. It goes to Trey Hume. Trey Hume on the right wing. Plays it into Alan Brown, who's been a busy boy today, has Alan Brown. And 09 plays it out to Bundle. On the left, he's got 3 Leeds players around him, but he whips the ball in, but it gets deflected off Tanaka, but it falls to Lefay on the edge of the area. It plays it to 09 to Ballard. And Sunderland have got a bit of sustained pressure here. Ballard cuts inside. And he plays it to Lefay. Lefay then has it on the edge of the area. It looks like he's going to find Mundle. He does. Ronaldo's on the overlap. Mundle has the ball again. Plays it back to Lefay, who plays the ball over the top to big Nordi Mukiele, who is onside. I was worried he might not be. Leeds pressing Mukiele and end up winning the throw-in. But I mean, it looked to me like he was being fouled there. But yeah, guys, let me know in the comments what you've made of the first half an hour of the game. For me, I think that Sunderland had been. Oh, apparently we're off air. Why has that happened? No wonder the comments aren't pulling in. I was thinking, like, the comments have not pulled in for like 5 minutes. Oh, and there's loads of comments in here. I don't know why. My things went off air for like 2 minutes, whereby the comments don't load in. Leeds are running down the right, though. I'll get to your comments in a minute. I'm obviously deleting them. And Bogle shoots it. He puts it wide of the goal. No me, no you. Morning, mate. Startled my lass in bed by announcing that Connor's live. I forgot. Now in the sitting room with a hot chocolate and 2 jammy tortillas. Let the good times roll. Excellent, mate. Good to see that I'm getting a mention in the bedroom with your wife. That's what we want to hear. That is what we want to hear. Let's have a look. The internet is full of twats. I mean, it absolutely is. But it's also full of very nice people as well. It absolutely is as well. Yeah, so I missed a few comments there because for some reason they stopped pulling through for 5 minutes. Mundo looks great. Mundo looks terrible. Leeds press Sunderland in a throw-in. It could be Mundo's breakthrough season. It absolutely could be. There is no hydration breaks today, though. SFC Jules says, think a Dinger is on the bench. Said on Facebook he was anyways. Make of that what you will. I will make of that what you will. I will believe you. He is there. He is there. I'd be ashamed about Isidore if Isidore is leaving. I really like Wilson Isidore. I think he's a good player. And I think that we'd probably regret losing him. Because we'd have to buy 2 strikers. Like, it would really complicate our summer transfer business if we lost Wilson Isidore. Unless we have a centre forward coming in. Yeah. Changing Crisis says we've been the better team. I'd probably agree. It's been a pretty even affair. But I think Sunderland have just about edged it. Just about edged it, I would say. The ESPN commentators are loving the new shirt. I mean, they should be. It's an absolute masterpiece of a shirt. Absolute masterpiece. It's been all Sunderland apart from their goal. I think you're probably right there, Stu, mate. And Red and White Vic. Hello. Check out the TikTok channel as well of Red and White Vic. I've just woke up and seen their goal. DM me, elbow. I mean, I think, you know, you got to be fair. We love Enzo, but Enzo's the guy who's lost the ball in the middle of the park. Elbow's not set because he's not expecting us to not have the ball. It doesn't look good for him. But, yeah, not ideal. Serial Killers says, we great at keeping the ball, but same as last season, no end product, refusing to shoot from distance. I mean, you know me. You know that I'm a big proponent of shooting from outside the box. Look at Aston Villa last season. They scored so many goals from outside the area, and Trey Hume's done really well to battle through some tackles. Wins himself a free kick from Sean Longstaff. People screaming Connor's name in bed wasn't on my watch-along bingo card. Yeah. Yeah. Not even the wife does that, so it's good to see other people are shouting my name in bed. It's hard to buy someone with Isidore's pace and finishing. I would agree. Ball gets played up, though, and Leeds deal with it well. Connor, I'd be gutted if Wilson goes. I would also be gutted. Were we in for the guy that Fulham bid 70 million for? I mean, not for that price, but I think we were interested in him last summer. I've seen nothing on it this summer. Andy says it's a cutting edge. That's the usual issue, especially with Enzo not playing well in the game so far. Can't see Wilson dropping down at the Championship. I could see him dropping at the Championship for West Ham, though. You know, they're not really a Championship team. And I don't know what the sort of deal would be. From West Ham's perspective, would they be willing to go out and spend 20 million quid? No. So they would probably want a loan with an obligation to buy on promotion. I don't really think that suits Sunderland one bit. That's where I'm at with it. So I'm keeping Wilson. I'd be disappointed, but look, if they did let him go, I'd be disappointed. I have complete trust in the club, and also that Mills who plays for Leeds, by the way, he's just done a nutmeg on Lefay there. He has looked really, really good. I think he's 17 years old, so they've got themselves seemingly, it's pre-season, but seemingly a decent player. And yeah, with 33 minutes. The game is at 1-0. Leeds have had one big chance. Well, it wasn't even a chance. Nemecha, after I was slating him, for anyone who wasn't watching the stream, I was absolutely hammering Nemecha. And then he scored literally the same moment, so it was all on me. Sunderland looked pretty tidy on the ball, though. Elbow's got it here, and he sort of scrambles but gets it away. It goes up to big Brian Brobby, who is pinning the centre-back back as he knows doing. He's played it off Mundo. Brobby is, nearly in. The ball goes to Trey Hume, who shoots it. It's deflected wide. Oh, and there's some fisticuffs in the box. There is some fisticuffs there. Well, not really fisticuffs, some pushing. But I think Joe Rodon's not happy with the tackle that Brobby put in. Fundamentally, though, it was a clean tackle. So the ball got up. Brobby holds the ball. Plays it off to Mundo. Mundo plays it back into Brobby. Rodon then plays it, and Brobby goes in with a pretty robust tackle. And then Hume gets it, and it goes out. Look, it's not ideal in pre-season, but fundamentally, Brobby's got every right to go for it. And look, I get it, it's a pre-season friendly, but fundamentally they need to... It wasn't a foul. The referee didn't give it as a foul. It is what it is. Sunderland got a corner. Let's see if Sunderland are any good at corners now. Let's see if they're any good at corners. It's Chrissy Rigg taking it. We've got to put it on this keeper, this Alex Cairns. No way he's a Premier League level goalkeeper. Rigg whips it. Goes to the back. Oh, no, it doesn't. It's headed up from Leeds. 09 has it. Whips the ball into the area. It goes to Ballard, who heads it across goal. And it's offside. It is offside, right. Maybe Wilson has just picked up a knock we haven't been told about. That is possible. However, on the Sunderland thing of the players coming off the bus, I think that if Wilson would still be there if he had a knock. Because why wouldn't he be? He's not going to be doing anything else. He's not going to be like, oh, I'm injured, so I'm going to go to, McDonald's instead. Like, no, he'd be with the team. That was the concern with Wilson, but it might be nothing. You might be absolutely right. Nobody No News says, to be fair, lads, I didn't scream his name. I was more tired. Connor's line. I bet I was like, who? I'll tell her later. No, I prefer my version. I prefer that you screamed it. Wilson looked shattered at halftime against Pools, maybe just dehydrated. Yeah, and he came back later, didn't he? He came back a little bit later, so it's possible that they don't want to give him those minutes. Extra minutes. They've given the game off. Obviously, if he does have a knock, it might even be that he's got a knock and they think it's better for him to stay at the main camp for whatever reason. But yeah, Sunderland have looked alright though. Save for the bad goal. Ballard just knocked the ball miles out of play. No player can handle big Brian Brobby. Absolutely. It's a shame that emojis don't translate on here. Yeah, they don't. That's a shame. Brobby's off. Oh yeah, Brobby's coming off. That's not good. Probably a precaution, but that's the last thing you want. I mean, he's going off. Maybe the plan was always for him to play 35 minutes, but it looks like it's been a handshake. So yeah, I think that's a meant change from Sunderland. I think they want him to play 30 minutes. And I would guess probably what happened is the plan was maybe to play Wilson for an hour and then bring on Brobby in the second half, and that hasn't happened for whatever reason. Chris Riggs also just done a wonderful little turn in the midfield and took out two players. Yeah, Tutierovs just came on, so he's playing through the middle by the looks of things. So no, we are playing without a striker. We are currently without a striker. But that's because, as Louise says, you're not going to risk a player in pre-season. But the way that he went off, it's not an injury. Like, he came off, the manager smiling, handshakes. Clearly they'd said you're going to play about 35 minutes. I think that's what's happened there. So no cause for concern. My voice is already going, by the way. We're at 38 minutes in this game and the voice is struggling. But 09 has played it in there to LeFay, who gets it over at Trey Hume. And my stream is literally frozen at the moment where Trey Hume has it on the edge of the area. He plays it Nordy, who is offside. Is this anyone else's stream? My stream just is having these little jumps all over the place. Do me nappering. He looked a yard off the place due to fitness. Yeah, Vince, you are probably right. Andy says, shows how much we need to sign a striker. We definitely need another forward player. Is he still on the bench? We don't think so. But we're not 100% sure. But we don't think so. Gary says, thing is, selling Wilson doesn't really make a lot of sense with the amount of games we have. And could we replace him for 20 million-ish? That is my view on it. If Wilson is going, I mean, look, it's pure speculation at this point. We just know that, if Wilson was on the bench, you would imagine it would have came on there for Tutierov. So for me, it would suggest that he's not here. He's either injured or there's something else going on. Yeah, it could also have a personal thing. It could just be, it could just be that he's got a personal thing. He's had to go home for whatever reason. My stream is performing better than the one in Nashville. Oh, my Nashville one was perfect. Yeah, Trey Hume's fouled halfway inside the Leeds half, which is good. Spanner says my stream keeps pixelating but not freezing. Yeah, I've had that a little bit as well. Andy Ross says, when Isidore was linked away in January, RB said we'd have to replace him if he was sold. That was before we had Europe to consider. We must have 3 strikers. I mean, I think you're right. I think if Wilson goes, they're going to have to buy at least a striker. When I say another forward player, I just wonder if they'll want a player that can play as a striker but also play on the wing, is my guess. Need the Strepsils. I agree, Gary, mate. Need the Strepsils in. These live streams are... I'm only on my 2nd live stream and I'm already struggling with the throat. Lefay whips the ball in, but it's not great. It's right at the edge of the area. Ballard, I think it is, then loses the header to Nemecha. And then Mundo loses the ball out. Tanaka's breaking. There's a gap for him in the middle, which has luckily been closed off. Nemecha's on the right wing. Cuts inside. Mundo, though, does a pretty good job of defending it. Slows him down, which, to be fair, it's all you can ask for when he's made a mistake like he did on the edge. And Nemecha plays it in the Bogle, but he is tackled wonderfully by Ronaldo. And surely that's a foul. No, Mukiele was fouled, but not given. Mukiele is on the right wing. Trey Hume is now filling it right back. And that Mills, who I like, has the ball on the edge. And Leeds have got a bit of pressure. Longstaff's got it. Plays it into, I think it's Tanaka. Oh no, it's Wilson. And Leeds are recycling the ball. They are recycling the ball. And Tanaka plays it out to Bogle. Oh yeah, Wrexham v Sunderland. Tickets from $90. Be interested to see how many people are at the Wrexham game, because obviously it's Wrexham in the seemingly the biggest club in America, aren't they? Oh, certainly that's the rhetoric. Tanaka whips it in. It goes to the back post, and Nordy heads it out for a Leeds corner. What else? I fancy a Lefay equaliser. I hope you're right. We're bringing on all the under 21s for the second half. No, I think it's going to be the first team for about 15 more minutes. I think they'll play about an hour, the first team. And then we'll see a lot. Dingra is on the bench, by the way. I can see him warming up. Are you missing Taff? Hope he's having a good time. Did you ask him to make the boats and hose style video? So yes, I'm missing Taff. And the ball comes in from Leeds. It's headed out from Ballard. It looks like it's went for another Leeds corner. It has. Yes, I am missing Taff. Yes, he is having a good time. And no, I did not ask him to make a boats and hose style video. Though I probably should. I'll text him tonight and tell him. Let him know. Wrexham's popularity is because of Deadpool. You know what the problem with Deadpool, with Wrexham is that their fame is due to their owners. So if the owners ever sell it, they'll be knackered. Leeds crossed it in Wilson with the corner. Comes in. It's headed out from Nordy. And Nordy, he loses the header, and it's a nasty one for Sean Longstaff, to be fair. Oh, the referee's just continued the game. It looked like a head injury, but he's just let the game go on. And Leeds have had a bit of pressure the last 5 minutes. A lot of the ball. Ball goes up, headed out from Ronaldo. Chrissy Rigg has it in the middle. He's been a bit quiet today. He's had a few moments. A nice little turn there. But he's not had the same authority on the game as he did against Liverpool. Ballard is pulling the ball out. There's nothing better than seeing Big Dan Ballard run with the ball, by the way. Well, there is plenty of better things, but I still love it. Ballard plays it into Brown. He's in a tight space. He's fouled. Advantage, though, to Sunderland. 09, dragging the ball up. Plays it off to Ronaldo. Can we get a goal before half-time? We know there won't be any added time. There never is in these pre-season friendlies. Ronaldo into 09. Go on, you've got a minute. You've got a minute. Let's build an attack. Let's do something before half-time. And Trey plays it. It's been a little bit trying to take the sting out of the game. Leeds had a bit of pressure there, and it feels like Sunderland are just like, right, we're just going to calm it down. Some passing around the defence. 09 into Ballard. Ballard into Lefay, who loses the ball. Lefay's lost it a couple of times in that exact position there. And Leeds have got the ball back. And it goes all the way back to Alex Cairns. I have a feeling that this game, for the next 30 seconds, nothing's going to happen. And the referee will blow his half-time whistle. Road on. Passing it around the back four for Leeds. Basically, the teams for the last 2 minutes are just passing it around the defence. Ball goes all the way up front. Ballard loses out the ball, but gets it back. Bogle well defended. Ballard plays it in to Chichierov, who plays it to Mundell. We're at 45 minutes now. And the whistle has went. We're at half time. And it is Leeds United 1, Sunderland 0. Evening, Davy. Hope you are well. Joining us at 1:20 in the morning. Coach PJG says, I'm at the game, Connor. Didn't see any physios waiting with Brobby. He was just sitting on the bench. Reckon he was always coming off early. Rig has 100% added weight, looking sharp. Excellent. Yes, my theory with Brobby that it looked like planned. The way that he came off the pitch, it looked like a planned substitution. Jay, you're calling it a night. Good night to you, my friend. Thank you for joining us for the first half of the stream. Can't wait for us to bring Lefay on. He's already on, unless that's a joke. Probably is, just over my head. It's late. Andy Ross, it looks like Leeds got what they paid for with the Bosnian defender. Yeah, I haven't really seen that much from him. To be fair, it's a bit overkill with the back three against Big Brian. Well, it's not overkill in the sense that he's difficult to deal with, but Brobby's pinning himself onto Bornau and Rodon, isn't he? Not so much Mihailovic. I feel like I've only seen him sort of play a couple of nice passes. But yeah, there we are. There's 368 people watching the stream. Greatly appreciated. All 368 of you. And we're at 1:20 in the morning. And there hasn't been a ton really happening. Yeah, Steve says that was a hard watch. I thought it'd start with some pretty good intensity, to be honest. Leeds obviously scored the goal, but the goal was weird. Look, the goal comes from a Sunderland mistake. Lefay, he tries to play a pass. Tanaka presses him, and then Nemecha finds, let's be honest, he finds a very, very good strike. Elbow score. I mean, Elbow would be gutted about that. He looks like he's just in absolute no man's land. So he'll be devastated that that's went in, because he's got a chance to impress, and you know that won't be good for him. John Paul says Elbow's distribution is worse than Pato's. Not taking our chances on goal has been our problem last season as well. Reynolds is Canadian. Canadians divide sports into thirds if they do enjoy 3-period hockey games. Malta says it was a lucky goal. It was a lucky goal. Alan says, what do you think of Sunderland's walk-on music? I'd love to see it changed to Kashmir from Led Zeppelin. No, you don't change all that. What, Dance of the Night? No, Dance of the Nights are ready to go stay. We can't change all them. It's almost part of the heritage now. Serial killer, but Cornflake says, didn't expect to see Sunderland playing with no striker in pre-season. Well, every 2 years has played in the number 9, but fundamentally, if Wilson's picked up an injury, it is what it is, isn't it? I mean, yeah, I suspect in the second half, Leeds will not be playing with a recognised striker, unless Nemecha's going to play the 90 minutes, but he's not going to, is he? Dano says, Wrexham will have to adopt hydration breaks. Easier for Ryan to understand the game in 4 quarters. Dance of the Nights was the only decent thing Methvin did. Well, Methvin got rid of Dance of the Nights. So unless you don't like Dance of the Nights. But yeah, Methvin got rid of it, didn't he? Because he played a Tiesto song. I think probably was just for 30 minutes. Yes, I agree. If only we saw Pritchard in the false 9, 100%. Brobby injured, always due to play the 30 minutes. I think he was always due to play the 30 minutes. Pip Walker says it's a stinky goal. Yes, it was. As stinky as the diapers that you will be changing, my friend, very soon. Jonathan Cresswell, 8:20 a.m. here. I think we're doing okay. We're missing a right winger. We absolutely are. You are playing to my... yeah, that is exactly how I feel. Gaz says, I'm happy to take over the stream in my PJs if you need a light race. Connor, thanks, mate. Appreciate the offer. Appreciate you coming on. Dance the Nights. Oh, yeah, we touched on that one. Vince says it's been very typical preseason friendly, in my opinion. Both teams with silly mistakes and mixed quality. Yeah, it started at like quite an intensity, but it died off, didn't it, after about 10 minutes. Pretty much after the Leeds goal, the intensity died. Coach says, watching in person, the players look like they've come off a hard week of training, probably ramping up the cardio sprint work around this time. Players seem relaxed but tired. That's exactly it. And look, preseason last year, We drew at Hull. We lost against both the Spanish teams we played. I don't think we won a game in pre-season last year, apart from like the South Shields one. It is what it is. Let's see what changes I made in the second half. I don't know if they'll make any changes directly. Yeah, I don't think they will directly. I think it'll be 60 minutes. They'll probably make changes. Disappointing first half, Billy. Yeah, well, sort of just is what it is, isn't it? Hopefully the second half we up the tempo. Absolutely. Jay, you were meant to be in bed. But yeah, didn't Mentham play Invaders Must Die? Yeah, I think that was him. Invaders Must Die. That seems to ring a bell with me. John Parr, Dance the Nicest Class, what you on about? Yeah, it's all opinions though, isn't it? Davey says, we have played much better combinations than Leeds, but rusty in the box. Overall, good control, good to see. Lopsided formation with Hume right again. We still need a right winger. We 100% need a right winger. Our need for a right winger is so great. And I feel like this team would be phenomenal if we had a right winger. We absolutely would be. It would take us up another level. Phil says, Connor, really liking the content. Your heat looks good size in the new format of my TV too. Not overly large anymore. Good. I'm glad. I'm glad that my head is not too big. Should I do it from here for the rest of the stream? No, I do have a big head. I've also got a really creaky chair that needs some oiling. But I need to buy a new chair. So when I get the money to do that, we'll have a new squeak-free chair. We will. John says Hume doesn't create anything with the ball, which we already knew, but we need to be more attacking next season. Hume, it's a difficult one with Trey because I don't think he's a right winger. He's just not. He's just not a right winger. But I get why he goes out there, and I get that he provides sort of a decent service for us in there. It's not a long-term answer though. But I think he got better as the season went on in there. Jay says we didn't win any proper games last pre-season, often the case. Mundell not good enough on the left, says SFC. Dean, Hugh never going to be good enough as an attacking option on the right either. Elborg terrifies me. Not good. He's not that ugly. Gary says, I hope when the season starts we don't get that countdown to kick-off we had in the World Cup. Yeah, we definitely won't be having that. Jay, you're in bed. Fair enough. Notable birthdays today. Titus Bramble and Abdullah Bar. Why is the Leeds team sheet still on? I don't know. Is it not playing? We'll take the way. There we are. We'll just put the Sunderland one on. If it's upsetting you, Spanner, appreciate the donation to the super chats. That is much appreciated. What tee are you wearing today? We are on the I Have the Power Brian Brobby t-shirt. That's what we got on today, my friend. Because he was starting. I got out the shower and I thought, what am I going to wear? And I saw the team news and I was like, it's got to be big Brian Brobby today. Alan says, how can you mention Mathvin's name on such a good show? It is what it is. It is what it is. It came up in conversation. And yeah, I've not spoken to Charlie Methvin since I left the club. He sent us a message the day I left just to say thanks for your hard work. And other than that, I've never spoken to him since. Fernie says, the Leeds badge, us fans just want to see a win, but for the players they're not bothered. It's all about getting minutes in the legs. You are absolutely right. And the thing is as well, you know, when Sunderland played Liverpool, we were the better team in the first half against Liverpool. And then we made changes in the second half, and Liverpool brought on like Watchalong. You end up losing the game 4-2. Fundamentally, though, like the results don't matter at all, do they? Gaz says, I do think Siddiqui will replace Brown and Mundell will get switched to at halftime. Maybe. We will see how it goes. I feel like they'll all get an hour, but I could be wrong. Hume is class for the squad. He is. Serial Killer says, prefer Hume on the wing to DM role that Bruce tried during pre-season. I'm sorry I keep calling you Serial Killer, but it's a long name. Maybe I should call you Cornflakes rather than Serial Killer. Sule from Roma would be perfect in the squad. Yeah, we've talked about that one a lot. It's died down a little bit. Stop your clock. No, mate, the clock runs forever. I will never stop the clock. No, we'll stop the clock. There we are. No, I have not stopped the clock. There we are. The clock is stopped. Don't you worry about that, my friend. Matters says, just got in, what did I miss? Well, you missed Sunderland concede a bad goal. And we've talked about it already. But for your enjoyment, I will go through it. Lefay loses the ball to Tanaka. Tanaka plays it to Nemecha. Nemecha then finds Elborg off his line and hits like a low shot that goes in pretty much off the post. Elborg looks silly, I think. I think he's a little bit unlucky though. And that's it. There wasn't really much else. Brobby missed a chance, and he went off on what, 37 minutes, but not injured, which is good. Spanner says, tried to add a message on my super chat, but I am Joey Diggin. Hello, Joey. Thank you for joining us. Vince says, he's a stability option. Can see him playing there a lot. If we want to see out a game, probably off the bench. You're probably right. And even as well, it could be that, it helps you move to a back five if you are defending. Gaz says, it's better to test these players in these positions now than when points are at stake. You are right. John says, would be a completely different conversation if Jocelyn was allowed in the USA. That is true. Malta Singh says, Charlie was round your house the other day. Don't tell anyone. Leroy says, remember people not too long ago we were playing against the likes of Morecambe and relying on Chris Maguire. We've came quite far since then. It's always important to do that, isn't it? It's always important to have that memory. Davey says, I'd be a little bit concerned if I was a Leeds fan. You can see we've worked hard on our connections. Just sort of see again, though, from their perspective, they'll be watching it a different way to what we are watching. The clock don't stop. It's stopped now, unfortunately. I think Angulo's here. I imagine he'll come on, yes. And also, so is Adingra. He'll probably come on the right, I'm guessing. Mada's never rated that Lafayette. Who does? Rubbish. So will Jocelyn be training with the ladies, the unders, or the South Shields? He'll probably be with the under 21s, I would guess. Michael says, my name is Jeff. Sally says, I think we could idea if someone wrote a book about Sunderland's journey from League One to the Europa League. Yeah, I'd buy that book. Yeah, I would as well. Somebody should do it. If nobody's done it yet, they should do it. They should definitely do it. Is Jocelyn Torby right-sided? He absolutely is, yes. He'd be on the right wing right now. Left-footed, but plays on the right. And John says, I wonder if a Dinger comes on. It's do or die for him, in my opinion. Paul, good morning to you, my friend. I hope you are well. And my throat is like razor blades right now. I need a big drink. I'm wondering if I should fill my bottle up to see us through the second half. No, I think we'll truck it out. I've got half a bottle left. I think we should be okay. And how many we got on stream? We've got 345 on stream. We have kept and maintained 300 odd. So you are as nuts as me, really, for sticking about and doing all this. And watching this game. And watching it with me is much appreciated. I'm just going to check the old Twitter page. Let's see if there's any news breaking through the night. People are talking about how Mihajlovic looks good. Sunderland fans as well. Phil Smith says, odd half. SCFC played alright stuff at times and got into decent areas but lacked the final ball. Too casual at times and punished for the opener. Leeds have mostly sat off Elborg and... Oh, the thing's cut out. How annoying. Twitter just closed for no reason. I'm getting no luck today. Leeds have mostly sat up Elborg in his back four, and to be fair, it's largely worked for them. Sadly, Mihajlovic looks class. Wow, I must have been like missing something with Mihajlovic. I clearly just wasn't watching the Leeds players. But yeah, anyone else saying anything? I don't know if my pal James is watching it. He said he was going to be. Oh. Phil says, what's the crack about Diarra going? You've been clickbaiting. No, there was a story in the Italian press that Roma wanted him. And I dismissed it. And I said that I think it's nonsense. Now, obviously, for the thumbnail, look, I'm going to let you into a secret on YouTube, right? The key to YouTube is basically to create things that are enticing. So I put a thing like Diarra leaving ? I think was roughly what I put on the thumbnail. And then in the video I said, Habib Diarra's not going to be leaving. But it enticed people to click on and watch it. So yeah. This YouTube stream is about 5 seconds ahead of my match stream. And Connor keeps spoiling, let me know I attacked him and never fizzled out. I am sorry, my friend. I am sorry for that. Gaz says, having a beer that keeps my voice in check would recommend. The problem with that is, though, is that I don't really drink that much. So if I did have a beer, it would be an absolute nightmare. How you got a stream? I can't find one. How was the first half? You can get one on the SFC website or watch it on Premier Sports. Or you can watch it in a nefarious way if you want. But yeah, there is, you can get it online. I think it's £8 or something like that if you want to watch it on there. Jay says, what does Phil Smith know? He's no James Copley. I'm joking, they are both great, yes. Paul says, good morning from Jomteen, Thailand. I apologize if I said that wrong. Watch the stream, listen to you. Better than the commentary. Excellent. Yeah, because, you know, it's like kind of, yeah, it's a little bit of commentary here. It's a little bit of chatter in there. You know, it's not just constantly, you know, hammering what's happening in the game. But we try and do a little bit of both. Alan says, I think Hume only plays so if Mukiele goes behind him, Hume can cover him at right back than anyone else. Yeah, that's why Taft talks about clickbait is a fine line. It is a fine line. It absolutely is. Didn't the journalist say Diarra could be an alternative target? There's nothing in it for me. Roma aren't paying for what you paid for him. Exactly. That's why I don't think he's leaving. 100%. Did you know Gerald Carling at SCFC? I don't think I did. I'm terrible with names, though. Absolutely terrible. At least you're honest. Always honest. Always honest. Leo says, hi, I have both teams to score. Does it look like Sunderland will score? Probably not. No, I think Sunderland will score a goal. I think so. I'm going back to bed. It didn't actually even get out of bed. I actually didn't even get out of bed. Well, I just watched the second half in bed. Why not? Norwalk says, the key to YouTube thumbnails is to have your face look like you don't understand how your jaw works and that they want lots of bugs flying in your mouth. Yeah, I've pulled that one off a few times. No Me No News says, how's Max? I guess an Amazon free period is good. Yeah, Max is, I believe, lying in the living room with the fan on, enjoying himself. He won't go to bed properly until I go to bed. So he's having a late night for him. Jamie says, can we have a quick summary of the match so far for those who have joined? Okay, quick summary. First half, game started at quite a high intensity. Both teams have been quite aggressive. There's been a few good tackles going in. Leeds scored through a mistake from Lefay, got tackled by Tanaka or intercepted. It went into Mecha. Mecha caught, elbowed off his line, fired it and hit the post and went in. Brobby then had a really good chance set up from Ronaldo and he was in the 6-yard. It got fired across goal and Brobby sort of mishit it. It felt Lefay avoided it wide. We then had a chance a minute later and I think it was Brig maybe that missed it. And then other than that, not much happened. Brobby then went off on about 37 minutes, but not injured. And then Tutierov came on. I saw somebody asked who came on for Brobby. It was Tutierov. So that is where we are. Black Cat say, so basically the key to being good at YouTube is to lie to your audience. Kind of. No, not lie. Just put things out there that you can then deny. So like, for example, you know, if Brobby was linked with a move away tomorrow, you could put out there Brobby to leave ? Because then you're saying ? The question mark implies that is that actually the truth? And then in the video we talk about it and decide whether or not it is. The fifth continent of the day, we've got Asia. Excellent. Vince says, are you going to capitalize on the sleeping viewers after the game, Connor? Get that ad revenue up. The sleeping viewers. No, I don't know what you mean by that. I mean, I don't know if I'll do a 10:30 tomorrow. I think we'll do a live stream tomorrow. But I don't know what time. We'll figure it out. Angulo's coming on. I haven't been watching the stream, so I apologize if I missed anyone else coming on. But Angulo is definitely coming on, which is interesting. I'm going to guess that must be for Mundle. Hielda's apparently come on. So that is good. It's very difficult because of the camera. Yeah, so Hielda's coming on. Angulo's coming on. And I don't know who Hielda is. Hielda coming on for Ballard. We'll see this on the months here. So it's, yeah, Ballard's going off, which is probably again a planned change. Give him 45 minutes. Leroy says, do you think any players watch these videos from fan channels? Probably not, but I know when I worked at Sunderland, they all check things like Roker Report, because they used to always whinge about the player ratings. There used to even be like a gag where whoever got the lowest rating had to like pay for the drinks or something. I can't remember exactly what it was, but they did used to read the player ratings. But I don't know if they watch them. I mean, a lot of them Google themselves and stuff, so they probably do. Graham says, good work, Connor. Thank you, mate. It's fun to be on here. Newspaper has been running headlines that are completely off base from the underlying story forever. You are probably right with that, mate. We are off for the second half, and I forgot to press the clock. So, let's submit second half. And I am at 45, I'll get it on at 45:20. So that we are all ready to go. There we are. There we are. We are off for the second half. Aussie Mullet, home from school sick. I don't know if it counts as new content. Are you actually sick though, or are you just here to watch Sunderland? Angulo for Mundo, yes it was. Mr. Dave, trialist one on. I'm watching Blythe Spartans at the weekend play Hebden Town, and I'm sure we'll see plenty of trialists on display on Saturday afternoon. If anyone wants to go to that game, Croft Park, I will be there. Probably one of about 100 people. And Brown has been fouled. Sunderland got a free kick halfway inside the Leeds half. Jay says, if I was a professional footballer, I would join in chat at this and see what fans really think. You probably wouldn't want to hear it though, would you? Because the internet's mean. Got people like me being mean. You know, calling Felix Nemetcher, and then he scored literally the second after. So maybe they would like that. Maybe Felix Nemetcher should watch the stream. Get himself a big confidence boost later. Sunderland got a free kick though. A chance to whip it in. And it is Lefay who crosses the ball in the area. And there is some shenanigans in the box from Hjelde, the former Leeds player. And Leeds have a free kick. Rob says, never worry about pre-season results, but still watch and stress out. You know what it is, right? Even when you go to pre-season games, every year I go to pre-season games. Not just Sunderland ones, other ones. I'd always go to the Sunderland ones, but other ones. Like, I'll go to the Blythe one on Saturday. And Leeds have got a free kick for a stupid push from Angulo. But I go to these games, and I always go, what a waste of time. What a waste of time, but I do it every year because I get excited about the football. Cornflakes. Anyone regretting staying up yet? No, stick around. It's all good fun. We can suffer together. 328 of us apparently watching right now, so we can all suffer together. Willie Nonto, I think he must have came on at half-time. Leeds will have made a whole raft of changes. I can see Joel Peru with a... God, what is his bonnet? He's got like bright yellow hair. Yeah, Leeds look like they've made a few changes. But Stacks on, who's obviously a big player for them, so it looks like they've actually made positive changes. And I think we'll see Sunderland changes on the hour. So I think you'll probably see the rest of the starters go off. Lefay's got it. Lefay's been a bit quiet today, other than his mistake. Plays it in Alan Brown, who I think's actually had a pretty decent game, who was fouled. And Sunderland have a free kick. Oh no, they don't have a free kick. It looked like they did. It was an advantage. Hjelde has it. He's played a little bit in pre-season. I wonder what's happening with Agi Elise, what he's doing. Angulo plays it up to Rig. Rig plays a lovely ball into Chutiero, but he's offside, which is a shame. Tony says, go to bed. Any chance of some radio commentary? I mean, I'm not a radio commentator. I mean, I'll try my best to keep you updated with everything that's happening. I promise you that I do, but it is difficult. Coach says, anyone up for more screw moments for against us? I remember a player named Stuani scored a scream against it. Was it Middlesbrough Forest? It was Middlesbrough. Can you tell me the score? Leeds are winning 1-0 against Sunderland. Other random moments? I mean, I suppose the main one's that one last season against Leeds. That was pretty random. That was a big random ass bit of play. Probably the most random goal I've seen. Leeds, though, currently have the ball, but they've given it back to Sunderland. It's in the midfield with Alan Brown. 09 now has it and fires it upfield. But looks like Leeds, yes, are able to deal with it. And the second half is continuing on as the first half ended. Pretty scrappy, all things considered. Nordy Mukiele intercepts it. Plays it in the midfield. Alan Brown has it halfway inside the Sunderland half. Ronaldo plays it to Hjelde. Back to Elborg. And Leeds will not press Elborg. which slows the game down even more. KICP says, I get a feeling we regret not going for Mihajlovic. Maybe. But, and Ethan Amadou's just won a good header in there. It kind of just is what it is, though. 40 million euros is so much for a player that, while we do need a left centre back, Luke Online just played a wonderful sweeping ball across. I love that sort of pass to Ronaldo. I just don't think it was worth that resource for Sunderland, because it's just not as important as the right wing. And that's where our main spend needs to be. Is it Nick Barnes commentating on the SFC stream? I don't know. I'm not listening to it. I've got it on mute. Angulo, though, has the ball on the edge, and he's flicked it up, headed it down to Ronaldo. That was some nice play. Ronaldo plays it into Alan Brown. Sunderland a little bit camped in the Leeds half. Brown whips one over. The header is won by, I think, Trey Hume. And Anton Stack plays it, but it goes to Nordi Mukiele. But Stack wins it well off Mukiele. But then Lefay intercepts the ball, getting a bit scrappy. Lefay's driving with it. Plays it off to Nordi on the right. Nordi whips the ball in, but it's deflected out of play for a Sunderland throw-in. Fraser Campbell's screamer against Norwich is a good random moment. It was. Very random. So much so I'd forgotten about it until you've just mentioned it. Got an England call-up on the back of that. Ronaldo plays it into Angulo. And it sounds like, judging by the comments, we're all enjoying Angulo playing, which is nice. Alan Brown's got it. He's getting a good audition, Alan Brown, to potentially be in the Sunderland squad next season. Angulo plays it into Ronaldo. Ronaldo's now got a bit of space. He cuts inside on Nonto. Crosses it in with your right foot. It's headed out, though, from Bornau. It's then played into Trey Hume on the right wing. Sunderland a little bit camped in the Leeds half. Mukiele has it on the right-hand side. Plays it into Chris Riggy whips the ball into the area. Tuchierov heads it. Oh, just wide of the post. Not a big chance for Sunderland, but a decent chance. Tuchierov does well, though, with the header. And we are still at Leeds 1, Sunderland 0. It was a decent chance, though. SAFC Jules says, Angulo looks like he's going to be a baller. Absolutely. Most expensive friendlies I've ever been to was Bradford last season. Double parking ticket, £120 plus tickets at the match and fuel. Jeez. Not good, my mate. Not good. Sunderland pressing that Leeds back four. But Leeds get out of it. Whip the ball up the line. Goes into Joel Peru, who plays the ball up, and Leeds... Oh, it's too heavy, though. Joel Peru, look, in danger of doing what I did with Nemecha. But he's had a bit of a fall from grace, hasn't he? He was like Leeds' main player in the Championship, and he did absolutely the square root of diddly squat last season. And he also has an awful bonnet. Worse than mine, I don't even have one. Leeds, though, got the ball. It's safe possession, you'd say. Sunderland, though, doing a press. Ronaldo wins it back, though. Goes in Alan Brown. Sunderland's press has been pretty good in this game. Just not making enough of it. Leeds also pressing pretty high with Sunderland when they've got it in sort of that defensive midfield. Brown plays it out to Trey Hume. Trey Hume plays it to Nordi. And Nordi then plays it into Tuchierov. Then goes into Tuchierov again, who's running down the right wing. Pass it into the box. It goes to Chris Rigg. Angulo has it. Lose it out, though. And then it ends up from Hjelde heading out for a Leeds goal kick. But that was a half-decent opportunity from Sunderland there. Apologies for the squeaks on the chair. Need to get some WD-40. Nah, Tony Taxi. Nick Barnes will be watching this game. Trust us, he loves Sunderland. Even though he's not actually... Well, I think he is a Sunderland fan now, but he wasn't actually a Sunderland fan back in the day. Let's have a look. Yeah, this is more like it. I feel like we are being a little bit better. The thing is, we're going to make loads of changes in 5 minutes. So, hopefully we can get a goal. Get the game level. But I suspect we'll see some changes coming up soon. I know, mate. I need to get some WD-40. I mean, I've got some WD-40. I'm just lazy. Leeds have got the ball, though, running in the midfield. I think it's Dan James. Plays out to Peru. Peru plays it off to the wing. I think it's Gabby Goodmanson has it. Yes, it is. Cross it in the area, but Nordy deals with it. Sunderland then have a chance to break away. Enzo Lefebvre has it. Slips away. Plays the ball up the line to Tucciero, who I think has looked very, very good in this game. But Tucciero is one-on-one with the Leeds defender. He cuts in. He takes too heavy a touch, though. But I think Tucciero, every time I'm seeing him, I'm getting more impressed. And they put him in now with better players. And he doesn't look like out of his depth. He's done a couple of things already in the second half where I think he's looked alright. So I think he's got a chance of getting himself in that Sunderland squad for next season and being an actual part of the team. Jay says, do you know what the WD stands for in WD-40? I don't, mate, and I'd love for you to tell us, because now you've said that, I'm really interested. So if you don't know the answer to that, I'm going to be very disappointed. I will Google it after the stream, though, if you don't tell us. Louise says, he's definitely stepping up. I'd agree. I think, like, Tucciero, yeah, and guys, I think he doesn't look phased. I think Tucciero looks really, really good. Jules, SFC Jules says he reckons Siddiqui gets his first goal. That would be nice. He needs to add goals to his game. Water displacement. Oh, fair enough. Or is it water dispersion, as somebody's put in here? Anyway, Leeds have got the ball now, playing it kind of around the back four. Davey says, we are linking up far better than Leeds and much sharper on pressing and second balls. That's a promising sign. I agree. And everyone knows what WD-40 stands for, so I'm just clearly an idiot. Luke O'Nine's won the ball off Peru, and Rig has it. He's driving through the midfield, which is what we want to see. Plays it off, but it's won back from Leeds. It's a good tackle. I think Rig's ball probably was asking a lot of the defender. And Nordy wins another slide tackle. The ball goes out of play for a Leeds throw-in. And we need a refresh on the stream because it is frozen. Thankfully, it is frozen, though, at a reasonably opportune time. And I am slightly further ahead than where I was. So I will update the clock because I am now on 57:30. So I'll wait for it to update to 40. There we are. Ball is with Leeds. Stack has it on the edge of the area. Shoots it. It's deflected from 09. Stack gets it back. He's got it back again on the edge of the area, just inside the area, but it's out for a Leeds throw. And Stack is a decent footballer, isn't he? Leeds have got a throw, though, just on the sort of in line with Sunderland's 18-yard box. Thrown up the line. I'm expecting to see some Sunderland changes the next sort of 5 minutes. Ampadu's got the ball. The Leeds captain just signed a new contract as well this summer. Bornau plays it out to Bogle. I think Leeds, I would expect they'll probably be making some changes. I think we'll have a makeshift final half an hour. For sure. And Dan James plays it inside. Goes pinballing about a little bit and it ends up out of play for a Sunderland throw-in. And again, my clock is now further ahead, so I don't know what's happening here. Davey says, does anyone else analyse the game in their heads with a reduced accent? I do not do that. Something though breaking away. Enzo Lefebvre has it. It's tackled though from Anton Stack, and Lefebvre is on the ground looking a bit defeated. I think it's been a difficult afternoon or evening for Enzo Lefebvre. But no, I don't do the analysing of the game in reduce other than the word connection. Leeds play the ball up, headed out, and Connor is time travelling because my stream froze again, and then when I came back it was further ahead. Sunderland though, building a little bit. Rig plays one over, it goes to Tucciero running down the left wing, and Tucciero, who again has looked good. It was a brilliant ball from Rig though. He's looking for support though, there's nobody with him. Plays it back inside. Rig has the ball again, and Sunderland have kind of allowed Leeds to get back into shape, which is unfortunate. And again, this stream is doing my head in. It keeps freezing. Tucciero, though, got the ball down the left. Very impressive Tucciero. And Riggs has done a lovely dummy in there. Angulo plays it in Alan Brown. Alan Brown plays it into the midfield for 09, who plays it out to the right-hand side. And Sunderland... Yeah, I think Sunderland have been reasonably... There's been a nothing game with that one mistake. Ronaldo down the left. Cuts inside beautifully on Bogle. Plays one over the top, but it is headed and clear. It looks like it'll be clear from Gabby Goodmanson. Plays up the line. But Sunderland end up keeping the ball. And they've got a throw in. Dexter says, proud to say Premier Sports hasn't failed me. Very good. Sunderland look like they're still not making the changes. God, the throat is struggling. As a content creator and somebody who makes a lot of videos talking, that is a concern. And we've got loads of players on the touchline waiting to come on. Angulo, though, with some lovely silky skill, but ends up losing the ball to Ampadu. It looks like next time the ball goes out of play, Sunderland are going to make an absolute whole host of changes. The ball's out now. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think we've got 7 coming on. So let's see what all these changes are going to be. And we'll see what the team looks like. Yeah, 7 subs coming on. I suggest you get a throat spray. I probably should. I don't actually have a sore throat, though. Generally, it's just all the talking. Brian, good day from Adelaide. Connor, any truth in the stories that the barcodes and house are separated? Yeah, mate. That's it's all happening. It is all happening. Davey says Rig is gassed. Brian, if you go back to the start, we did talk about this. I've actually done a video on Beyond the Big Six as well, talking about Eddie Howe. So if you want to cover them off. Also, I've missed all these substitutions coming on. Because I was talking. I can see Sealed coming on though. Or 9 off. Is any? I think everyone must have been changed at this point. Other than I'm guessing Elbow, but I can see a Dingra's on. Yeah, we'll see. I wonder if Sunderland have put up exactly who's been changed. That would be ideal if they did or do. And we'll see. 7 changes. So it's Hume, Brown, Mukiele, Lafayette, 09, Rig, and Ronaldo off. And it's Siddiqui, Diarra, Lightfoot, Proctor, Adingra, Jones, and Sealt on. So that is where we are with the team. And still no Isidore. No, still no Isidore. Angulo with another foul. He does give away a lot of fouls. Danny Collins would be fuming. Right winger's not getting the box. He would be, mate. It's one of his big pet peeves. Tony Taxi with the dad jokes in there. Wanted Roof's back for a bit, to be honest. Yeah, it's interesting because he's obviously on the bench. I presume we'll see Roof's play on Sunday. Sunday will be really, really interesting to see what we do with the team and if we play sort of a mixed lineup, because we pretty much played the same 11-ish for the first few games of pre-season. But you'd suspect that'll all change. Man up, Connor. I taught for 20 years. I don't think you're allowed to say man up these days. Is that in reference to my sore throat? I'm just a whinge, mate. Just whinging on. Whinging on. Coach says Isidore is here, he's in Street Coves, walked over there to see. Oh, interesting. So Isidore is there. Oh, well, that means he's not having a medical somewhere. I wonder if he's just picked up a knock. I didn't like he got off the bus. Sunderland though pressing Leeds. And Cairns whips it up the field. But it goes to Habib Diarra. who we're expecting big things from this season. It is so nice to see Habib and Noah Siddiqui, particularly Noah Siddiqui. What a guy, what a smile. Dingra's got it, cuts inside, nice, cuts inside again, little jink in, and plays it out. Oh, it's an awful ball across to Lightfoot, who is playing in that left back position. An awful ball across. But he did so well in the first instance. How frustrating is that? Knowing me, knowing you. Connor, would you rather have no toes or no teeth? No toes means no balance, doesn't it? No teeth, I can always get fake teeth. So no teeth. I hate the dentist as well, so I suppose having no teeth would just mean that I would never have to worry about that. So that's my verdict on that. Leeds though running down the left wing. Gabby Goodmanson with a good little run. Siddiqui though tracks it. And I think it's Dan James. I've got no idea what the state of this Leeds team is, by the way. I think I know all the players on there, but I don't know if they've changed any. Nonto has it on the edge of the area. Plays it into... Is it Justin, the number 24? It's surprising because Leeds haven't made as many changes as I thought they would have. But Leeds with a good move. Goodmanson down the left. This looks dangerous. Played across. It's cleared from Lightfoot, and Sunderland get a free cut on the edge. That was a dangerous. That's probably Leeds' most dangerous looking attack of the game, other than the goal. Jay says, who is playing on the right now? It looks like it is a Dingra who is doing the right wing shift. Tony says, Proctor has been great recently. Finished strong for the 21s at the end of last season. And Ken says, where does Proctor play? So Proctor's playing centrally. He largely plays as a central midfielder. And I think he's currently in there with Siddiqui and Diarra. I'm guessing that is what the team's looking like right now. Obviously, we made like 7 changes, so I'm still getting the flow of it. But Hielda plays at a Lightfoot. And Diarra, who's playing deep, which is interesting. Because we're sort of playing with 2 sitting defensive midfielders, it looks like to me right now. But Sealt has it now. It's centre-back. Plays it into Proctor, who's found a gap. It goes to Adingra on the wing. Adingra cuts inside. Takes a shot. Deflects. Possibly was going in as well before the deflection. So they get a corner. But Adingra's looked pretty positive since he's come on. And he's got a chance at Dingra potentially, you know, if he impresses in pre-season. I mean, people know that I'm a bit of a fan of him. You know, I think he's got a chance, especially with us being in Europe as well. It gives us something different. And if he plays on the right, you know, again, could he be an option for us going forward? Maybe, maybe not. Corner comes in. Goes to the back post. It's headed out though, and it looks... Something recycled possession though. Ball whipped into the area, headed out from Leeds. Headed back in, and it's ended up going out for a goal kick. I thought that might have been a corner. Paul says, legit, I'm kind of half watching, but how many shots have we had? Seems low volume. Don't know, we've probably not tested their goalkeeper much in anger. We've had like some opportunities where we fluffed our lines, but we've not done a massive amount in terms of punishing the goal. You all right? Coach says he was sitting with a couple of under 23s. I didn't recognise it, but I had to bet he's picked up something in training and didn't want to risk it. All that being said, I'm drunk. Enjoy yourself, Coach. Enjoy your evening. We've got 20 plus minutes left of the game. Davey says, it always surprised me how Rusty's players get after, in some cases, only a month off. I don't know if it's even rust. I think what a lot of it is you can't play at 100% in pre-season. And I think that's probably as much of the issue as anything else. I think that fundamentally a lot of these players, you know, they just can't put 100% in everything that they do. Whereas if you're playing a Premier League game, you do. I mean, you see players that get injured for 3 months and then come back in the Premier League quite quickly. So I don't think it's necessarily rust. I just think it's that the players know that the pre-season games are a different sort of football, and it's about, you know, working on little things, working on what the manager wants, working on little systems and tactical changes and things that you want to do in your game. And I imagine that's probably what happens in pre-season. But yeah, it is. I suppose it is a little bit strange. Right, we got 20 minutes left of the game. It's been a. I've got to be honest. It's been a painful watch. How long have we been live for? We've been live since 2 hours. 2 hours, 10 minutes apparently. We've got 300 people still watching the live stream. Which is good. Ball's kind of just in the midfield. There's not much happening. Leeds have got it. Plays back into Cairns. We've seen a lot of this. A lot of recycling in this game. It's a very eco-friendly game. But Leeds building a little... Well, I'll say that they've recycled against Sunderland. Have half won the ball back but lost it through a Dingra. Well, Dingra won it and then lost it straight away. Knowing me, knowing you, I've heard you have a book coming out. Is this true? Yes, it is true. There is a book coming out. Links in the description. If you want to document the journey of Sunderland's, or read about Sunderland's journey from League One to Europe, that is the book for you. It is out. And hopefully the copies will be ready for Wednesday. It is at the printers. It is very, very exciting. Leeds will build an attack. Goes into the number 47. I don't know who that is. And then heads out for a Sunderland goal kick. Tony says, Adigra not keen on working when we haven't got the ball was reason Brighton won't keep him. However, he improved that part of his game. Reduce might keep him. That is absolutely it. It is a bit of a slog. No walk virus, I think is what it is. It's pre-season friendly. I'm just happy to see the kit. I am also happy to see the kit. The ball's been whipped up the field. Leeds have it back in the midfield. Considering my choices here, Stephen Hensel says no player gives 100% in pre-season. It's all about fitness. It is. Leeds building a bit of an attack here down the wing. Ball comes into the area at the back post and it goes over everyone and just stays in play from the Leeds player. I think Lightfoot's competing for it. Ball goes up the line. Leeds recycle it, as has been the case for all the players in this game. There's so much recycling going on. No walk virus. Appreciate you becoming a member, my friend. Welcome to the team. Welcome to the legends, as we are as members. And you get to watch all the videos at the interview, well, all the stuff with like Taff and stuff without adverts being a member. The live streams and stuff, unfortunately, because of the way YouTube works, the adverts still go on there. And I know people get annoyed by that. It is what it is. If I could run them without, I would. Gaz says, well done, Connor. I'm still standing. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Andy says, we look neat and tidy enough, just toothless. Yes, we have. That is absolutely right. Just got a notification that probably got subbed. Yeah, you need to work on your notifications, mate, because that happened a long time ago. Leeds have whipped the ball in the box, but it goes out of play for a goal kick. Stephen Hensel says, still don't lose to Leeds though, lol. I really hate Leeds. And Gary says, what is the book price icon? It is 15 Great British pounds to buy the book. No walk virus says, you're always live when I'm heading to bed. Where are you based? If you are heading to bed, unless you're an early sleeper. Chris says, everybody hates Leeds. Apparently so. Apart from me, I love Leeds. Also, I think Fred Holmes, who watches this channel, always says that. Did you have to rip up and rewrite the last chapter? So what I did, I wrote the whole book to the start of Seattle. There we are. We did talk about this. Yes, I forgot about that. We talked about the Seahawks and all that. Yeah, I wrote the book up to the Chelsea game. So I didn't write anything about the current season until then, because I didn't know how the story would go. But Leeds have just won the ball off Siddiqui, and a foul's been given for Leeds on the edge of the area. But yeah, I then wrote the last bit in like a week at the end of the season from like the transfer window. Steven says, I know you don't drink, but honey rum is good for your throat. It probably is. It sounds very nice right now. I actually like whiskey. It's not that I don't drink. I do have a drink. I'm just not a big drinker. I'm not teetotal. Jamie says, I'm in Portland. Excellent, mate. It's good to see. So you're a Timbers fan. Who else have you got? We've got the Timberwolves, I think. And Madass, what's up, Norwich, Seattle here too. God, we've got all sorts. 2 people watching in Seattle. You should go to a bar and watch it together. Leeds have got a free kick though, whipped into the area, headed out though from Sunderland, goes to Dan James, who then plays it to Mihajlovic, who could have been a Sunderland player, if reports are to be believed. And Leeds, a little bit of pressure right now. But not much penetration. To be fair, neither team's had any real penetration in this game. The Leeds goal was a was a bit of a abomination from Sunderland. And Felix Nemecha took a big risk, but Leeds have got it down the right. I say risk. He took a fortunate effort. Stack has it, plays it inside. God knows who the Leeds number 50 is, but he just had the ball. Ampadu into Mihajlovic, and then down the right wing, back into Ampadu. Ampadu plays it into Dan James. Dan James crosses the ball and goes straight to Elborg. Can Sunderland get out quickly and break? No. No, they cannot. And Diarra has the ball in the midfield, plays it to Siddiqui. Siddiqui plays it off to Leo Hjelde, who I forget, or don't forget, but he came through, I think, at Leeds, or Leeds maybe bought him. I think Sunderland bought him from Leeds, didn't they? Sealt plays it in, nice ball into it. Dingra's running, he cuts inside, got a chance to shoot, gets deflected, and we end up losing the ball. Dingra, though, has looked pretty bright since he came on. Decision making is a bit questionable, but it looks like he's really trying. Probably realises that he might have a chance, if we don't sign a right winger, to nail down that spot early doors in the season. And he's got undoubted quality, Dingra. So I like him. Cornflakes, you got a film to watch. Oh, where's that? I've just missed it. No, it's not you. Who said? Somebody said I need to pick. Oh, there we are. It's Gerard. Why don't you watch Where Eagles Dare? Watch that. Leeds building attack though, and it is Nonto plays it in to Ampadu. Ampadu into Peru. Peru plays it off to the number 47. Who plays it, I think, to James Justin, who whips the ball in the area. It's headed out from Hjelde. Leeds have got the ball back on the edge of the area though. Nonto into Ampadu, and it's a shot there from Dan James as well, saved from elbow, but it is straight at him. I thought Leeds might have had a shout for a penalty there, to be fair. I thought Peru might have been fouled. And Angulo ends up heading it out of play. Steve says, in your book, do you talk about your time at Sunderland under Salmon Pants and Donald Duck? Yes, that is in the book. We do talk about all of that. Yes, I am matchmaking. Whoever said that, I am matchmaking. Getting these people together. Leeds have got a throw, though. In my throat, can it last the last 13 minutes of this game? Ampadu, though, with a long throw. Yucks it in the area. Leeds won the first header, and it is well saved by Elbow. He's made himself two nice little saves there. And again, Sunderland slow on the counter-attack. A little bit slow on the counter-attack. Siddiqui has it, plays it into Sealt. And Sealt gets to drag it up the field. It's a good little 30 minutes that all the World Cup players are getting, which is nice. Diarra's got the ball, playing a little bit deeper than he probably would like to be. Hjelde then has it at centre-back, goes to the left-back position with Lightfoot, who plays it back into Hjelde. There's been a lot of this sort of tepid football from both teams where there's just no penetration. Ball chased up the line from Sunderland. And Leeds put it out for a throw. And it was a good press, though, from Sunderland. Russ, thank you. Leeds fan. Love the channel. Appreciate that, my friend. And yes. It's been a difficult watch, though. I've got to be honest, my Leeds friend. Diarra, though, plays it out to Adingra. Adingra on the wing. Cuts in. Plays it back outside. It's now with Jensen Sealt. Jensen Sealt whips the ball in the area. It's headed off the shoulder of Tucciero. But he's had two headers in this game, Tucciero. And I've been impressed with Adingra. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm biased for whatever reason to Adingra. But I always feel like he just looks dangerous when he's on the field. I know he doesn't do his defensive work, which is the problem. But I do quite like him. No Me No News says, who are your sponsors, Connor? Oh, any good are they? And what's the plan with Weigelsdale? It's becoming a talking point amongst the northeast. So sponsors, I mean, we've been through the sponsors. Serenity Cars, check them out. You need a car, check them out. Also, Stephen Baker Photography. Need any photos? Check those guys out as well. And Where Eagles Dare, I touched on this at the start of the stream. We will cover off Where Eagles Dare when Taff gets back. I don't want to give anything away about my views on the film, whether I loved it or hated it. Steve asks, why are we playing Lawns twice? And one, it's basically, we're going to have 2 teams, I would guess, that are going to play 90 minutes. But one game's on the telly, or like stream, the other one's behind closed doors. So I suspect the first team will play one game, and the second team will play another. But yeah, we've got 10 minutes left of this game. Leeds currently have the ball in safe possession in the Sunderland half. Dan James plays a ball in, but it's well defended from Sunderland. And it's clear at the field. I think it was well defended actually from Simon Adingra, so getting his defensive reps in. And I'm trying to work out how many subs Leeds have made, if they've changed the whole team or not, but I don't know if they actually have. Sunderland have won the ball back. Siddiqui is driving through the midfield at pace, as we love to see, carrying the ball forward, and he plays it in to the number 59, and I'm not sure who the 59 is. I apologise for that. Siddiqui is down though. Proctor whips the ball in the area. It is cleared out though from Meheramovic, who everyone seems to be saying has done really, really well. And Leeds play the ball up the line. It goes back to Meheramovic. Tuchiera presses him. It goes up the field. And Sunderland have the ball back again with Diarra. Diarra plays it with Siddiqui, who's now recovered from his little excursion before where he ended up on the floor. Diarra then plays a nice ball out to the wing. It's Jensen Jones. Plays it into Diarra again. Diarra's got it. He's been active on the ball. And he's back. He's in the box. Oh, his touch isn't good enough. That's often the frustration with Diarra. He does a lot of good stuff. He gets in the good positions. And then just like the last thing always lets him down. Whether it's his touch or a bad shot. 59 is Archie Lightfoot. Yeah, we knew that. I'm getting tired. I am getting tired. Brian says, thanks for doing this, Connor. Helps the folk out that can't get the stream. Appreciate it, mate. I'm glad to be of service for you this season. Matters says, Connor, joint watch along with Connor McGilligan for Leeds v Sunderland next season. I mean, I do know Connor McGilligan. I think I've said it before on the channel. We used to kind of work together. I did try and set up a collaboration with him last season. We just couldn't get it figured out. So maybe there'll be a collaboration with him one day on the channel. I doubt he'll do a joint watch along because that's his sort of jam, isn't it? He loves doing his watch along. So I don't think that'll be happening. Andy says, hope everyone noted that good defensive work there by Adingra. And we did. I think Ogunsuyi's coming on for Angulo. So Angulo, when did he came on? Did he come on half time? Yeah, I think so. So okay, just limiting the minutes of some of those World Cup players. You've watched it, so I assume a full video between you and Taff about it. I mean, it'll come up. Maybe we'll do a propaganda or something. I don't know. Maybe we will. We believe in you, Connor. Appreciate it. Yeah, we've got 10 minutes left. We'll figure it out. We'll do a little bit of analysis after the game as well. Be much easier watching together at this time of night, but I fall asleep. Will you tell? Yeah, Tony Taxi. Same. And yeah, there we are. Substitution. Ogunsuyi is come on for Angulo. Right, we've got 10 minutes to go. Will Sunderland score a goal? Somebody asked about both teams to score. I'm not feeling it though. And Diarra with a lovely bit, drive through the midfield. That's what we love about Diarra. And he plays it into Adingra. Adingra whips the ball into the area. Ogunsuyi heads it. Ah, it just goes wide. Just goes wide. Spanner. Connor, thanks for your company. Going straight to bed soon as final whistle goes. You live at 10:30. We will go live tomorrow. Might not be 10:30. Might be though. I think I've got to be up anyway because I'm doing a Beyond the Big Six at 9 o'clock. So we probably will be live at 10:30, but it'll be 10:30, 11, something like that. But yeah, we'll go live. We'll do a bit of analysis of the game. I'll save my analysis, a lot of my analysis, for later. For that. I'm not doing a ton of it after this game today. Sorry, I'm mumbling on. Mumbling on at 2:30 in the morning, 2:20 in the morning. Stephen says, you straight to bed after I've got 100 miles still to go after my break. Where are you going, mate? Where are you, Steve? But yeah, I'll be going to bed. I'll probably need like 10 minutes. I'll probably watch a YouTube video or something. Proper YouTube lover, me. Ball's on the wing. And it's out of play for a Sunderland throw-in. No me, no you says, cheers for the stream, Connor. Much appreciated. At least the Wrexham game is a canny time. And you have company of James, onward and upwards. Yes. Yes, we will. And I think this is the last one of pre-season that we're going to do, the Wrexham one at the weekend. Tuchiera plays it in. He's got the ball. Tuchiera shoots it. It's a good shot. It's a decent save. Tuchiera, though, is busy. He's a busy man. I think he's got a really good chance of being part of the Sunderland team. Where did Ogunsui come from? I think he's just been in the youth academy. His brother just left the youth academy, so I don't know where he's from originally, but he might even be from the northeast. I don't even know. But if his brother's in the academy, I suspect they must live up here. Dronion says, I'm currently watching in Florida, watching your stream. Thanks. I am glad to see you watching the stream. Where in Florida, though? Florida is a big place. I have been to Tallahassee, Florida. And I saw some alligators. And I went to see the big college stadium. Is it the Florida Gators that play there? I might be totally wrong. But yeah, anyway. Went to Tallahassee once. I did Habitat for Humanity. Such is the kind gentleman that I am. Tony Taxi says, cheers, Connor, off to sleep with full time. Good nights all. Yes, mate. Enjoy your sleep. We've got about 4 minutes left. We'll do a tiny bit of analysis afterwards, but I'll save the main analysis for tomorrow morning when we do the stream, probably at 10:30 or 11. Dan James has got the ball down the right wing, and he plays it into the box. It's cleared, though, out from Sunderland. Siddiqui then wins it, stands on the ball and loses it. Thankfully, it doesn't look like he's injured. Sealt then defend it, but Leeds still have possession. It goes to the number 47. Siddiqui then tries to win it, wins it, and Sunderland get out of it somehow. Siddiqui plays the ball up. There's a bit of a chase on, but Leeds have it. Ampadu plays it back to the goalkeeper. Malcolm says, what do you watch on YouTube? All sorts, mate. I watch football stuff on there. Conor McGilligan, I watch his as well. Channel. What else do I watch? I love watching like survival videos. I know it sounds ridiculous, but like people camping in the wild. Outdoor Boys, anyone watch them? Yeah. Yeah, so I watch that. What else do I watch? Little documentaries. I watch like while I don't talk about politics, I watch some political stuff as well. All sorts of stuff. Yeah, I'm a big YouTube person. I think YouTube is one of the greatest things ever invented. Leeds, though, I've got the ball inside the Sunderland half. But it's safe possession. They're playing it backwards, recycling the ball. Nonto plays it to Stack. Stack whips it up the wing. And Sunderland are sort of half-hearted pressing. I think everyone, including the Sunderland and Leeds players, are waiting for the full-time whistle. And I feel sorry for those hearty souls who have paid for this. To go to the game, $70. Far too expensive for a game of this quality. Leeds up, play the ball upfield, and Sealt wins it, plays it down. I'm in the Disney Hotel in Orlando, mate. Excellent. Mihailovic, no play. He did play, he just came off. Channel, I'm not going to put your comment on the screen. I don't know why you're talking about. What is going on? Why, Channel, are you getting involved in here talking about things that have got nothing to do with this stream? So we're just going to ignore you, Channel. And I will delete the comments. Do you watch Gary's Economics? I know who he is, but no, I don't watch his stuff. But I do see him sometimes on Instagram. I thought he quit YouTube, though, or something. Or he decided to leave. Something, though, won the ball high up. Can we get a last-minute goal? What a good way to start the season, if we could get one. And it is Diarra plays it out to Proctor, I think it is. Yes, it is. Who shoots from range. It deflects and goes for a corner. And know me, know you, with a very kind £10 donation. Thank you, my friend, for the donation. It makes it worth it to get things like that. Channel, mate. I don't know what you're talking about. Why are we talking about Adam Johnson? Is he a Sunderland legend? Obviously not. You've never heard his name sang at the Stadium of Light since he stopped playing for us. So why don't you just not watch the Sunderland channel? I mean, we're here for positive vibes only. Anyway, we're in the 90th minute. It's a corner. It's played short. Will we have a chance to get it in the box? Siddiqui plays it back out. It whips in. And it's nicked. And it's another corner at Sunderland. There's some late pressure. David Cottingham, good night and see you later today. Yes, absolutely, mate. Absolutely. And we are in the added time. The scoreboards went off the screen, though. Clearly, the people at SCFC Live were expecting the game to be over. We are nearly at half two. Can we get a last-minute goal? An equaliser for the hearty souls that have made the trip here. Ball whipped into the area. It's headed. But it is straight into the Leeds goalkeeper's hands. And the game is over. And Sunderland have lost 1-0 against Leeds. Look, fundamentally, we'll dive into it all properly tomorrow. We'll dissect it, the things that need dissected. I think the game, it was a low quality game, wasn't it? You know, there wasn't a ton happening. I think from Sunderland's perspective, from Sunderland's perspective, we did okay. I think there was some nice passages of play. The goal we conceded was a stinky one, but overall we defended pretty well as well. And, 1-0, it could have went either way overall. Thanks for your time as well. Thanks to everyone for watching the stream. We are going to wrap this one up. We'll be back tomorrow morning, 10:30, maybe 11, something like that. But we'll definitely be back tomorrow. And I just want to say thanks everyone for watching. And yes, Leeds fan here, well played, mate. Thank you for watching the stream. It was a decent enough exercise for both. Looks like nobody got injured, which is the dream. So, yeah. Thanks, Steve. Thank you for saying that you love me. It is appreciated. Thanks, everyone, though, for watching. And we will catch you tomorrow for another video. We'll do another live stream. So we'll see you then.